Ooh. Shit. 1 second.
Going to go fast?
1 second. My stream's not cooperating.
Back to Fight Island again. We haven't really seen you since your last TJ Dillashaw fight. Obviously, weren't the scheduled opponents, so I'll ask right out of the gate. How prepared were you when you got this call? Because we had spoken in the past. I think it was before the Aldo Yan fight, and you said you were staying ready just in case that fight didn't happen. So, was it the same case for this? You were just ready to step in, knowing Aljamain might not make it.
Yeah. I have been in gyms with like a lot
Mm-hmm.
of really, big names for a really long time. And I know that that's like a really easy way to get a title shot is just to, be more prepared than everyone else in the division. So, yeah, that was kind of the idea. Also, I know Sterling had mentioned he wanted to fight in November. So when I saw that it was an October date, I knew that, something was not going well for him. And that was also just like another little thing where I was like, like this actually could be like a very real possibility. Um, so yeah, I was staying ready from about, probably like 7 weeks before this fight.
And looking at this matchup, this might be a weird question, but you obviously did a whole camp preparing for Aljamain, and now you're doing a camp to prepare for Yan. You kind of know what Yan doesn't really threaten many takedowns, doesn't threaten much grappling. Is getting ready for Yan easier than preparing for Aljamain, considering we haven't really seen a lot of Yan's grappling and stuff?
All of my camps are kind of a pain in the ass, to be honest. I wouldn't call any of them easy, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely different. I think that if there is anywhere where there's definitely going to be a huge advantage for me in this fight, it's definitely going to be in the grappling area. So, not having to worry about that as much maybe makes it easier.
Sure.
But no, I get my ass kicked almost every single day in camp, so I wouldn't call any of them easy.
And this, of course, this is for the interim title. And we've seen fighters like Justin Gaethje. He gets the belt, throws it on the ground, doesn't want it. Dustin Poirier, on the other hand, said he does view this as the culmination of the process. Which camp are you in? When you get the interim title, will you consider that a world championship?
Yeah, I think Aljamain had to retreat, and TJ's village is still on fire from when I set it on fire. So if we're talking like ancient war type stuff, which is like how I like to view this game, it's just like funner for me to do it that way. I'm the guy that can take the land. Those other two guys can't right now. I'm the guy that can take the land. So I'll see myself as champ. I know that most of the public sees Yan as the champ anyways. I know that I definitely will have some making up to do. Like I definitely still need to make up my 2 losses against Aljamain and against TJ also. But I'll go home with like a smile on my face, calling myself the champ if I win.
And then finally, Jan had said on the MMA Hour earlier this week that he plans to take you into deep waters, and that's where he will shine. So I would just like a response to that.
Yeah, I mean, he tries to do that with everyone, right? Like that's really no surprise. So, yeah, okay, go ahead.
Hey, Cory. Is one of the upsides to this fight, rematches can be hard to get in this sport. If someone wins, they don't necessarily want to grant a rematch. If you win this title, you're either going to fight Aljamain, rematch, or TJ, rematch. Is this one of the upsides to this fight?
Yeah, yeah, it would be beautiful for it to work out that way. I think that it just sucks having those 2 L's on my record. One because the Sterling fight was just like shitty and embarrassing for me, and then so I would definitely like to show that I'm definitely better than that guy, and I had a night that just wasn't good. And then same with TJ, where it's like I lost a decision that was this close, and if I'm being honest, probably could have gone either way. I definitely walked out of that cage a lot less beat up than TJ did, so it makes you feel a little bit weird about that. But no, man, I think it'd be beautiful if I get to avenge those 2 losses just right away after being the champ, and then I think that will even speak more to how good I am in the sport also.
Out of curiosity, I mean, all losses are probably shit, but do you view those 2 differently?
Yeah, definitely, man. Like the Aljamain loss was way more shit. Um, the TJ one was a little bit easier of a pill to swallow, just because I know that I beat him up and he didn't beat me up. that makes it a little bit easier of a pill to swallow, but it still sucks losing. You still lose just as much sleep that night.
I know you're confident in your abilities. All fighters are. But TJ is considered by some to be the best bantamweight, right? So with the success you had against him, do you look at someone like Yan, who some people perceive to be easier? He's not like an easy fight, but easier. Do you take confidence from your performance against TJ into this one?
I definitely gained a lot of confidence in that one, but to be honest, man, I don't go into I go in definitely believing that I can win, but I don't really let confidence sway, how hard I train or how hard I'm going to fight or anything like that, man. I know that all of these guys are dangerous. We're all just men, including myself, and I treat everyone like they can hurt me really bad. And so I would say that I'm definitely confident that I had such a good performance against TJ, and a lot of the stuff that I was working on in training was working against TJ as well. But I definitely am not thinking and overly optimistic about how TJ's skills stack up to Jan's.
Last thing for me, Aljamain's the champion, right? And some people look at that in a weird way. But do you think the UFC should have a time limit on when he needs to be ready to defend that belt?
Yeah, man. I think that just the way that MMA is set up, it's every 10 pounds. There's not a lot of weight classes. I think if we're talking too long, that's a lot of guys that are just sitting on the bench waiting to accomplish their dream while you're on the bench. Like that is just, yeah, I think that they should set like more clear-cut rules on things like that.
Cory, obviously Peter's fought here as well, but how much confidence do you take from or how comfortable do you feel being here? And obviously you had such a great win last October. Do you know how nice does it feel to be back? How comfortable, and do you kind of tap into those memories now that you're back here?
Yeah, kind of. It definitely makes it feel a lot less weird, like staying up all night and sleeping all day. But yeah, man, I had a really good time in Abu Dhabi last time. And yeah.
I was going to ask as well, do you visualize, getting your hand raised with the belt? You mentioned how much it would mean to you going home with that belt. Do you look that far forward, or is it purely just on your opponent come Saturday night?
It's definitely on the outcome, but I definitely don't spend too much time visualizing the outcome. I'm not one of those guys that thinks that if I sit here and think about, stepping on $100 bill, then I'll walk outside and step on $100 bill. But I definitely do my visualizations where I go through the fight in a lot of detail, things going wrong, things going right, and just what I want it to look like, and the things that me and my coaches have established as ways to beat Jan. And I definitely go over those, for about at least an hour a day.
And just lastly, I know you touched on it, just what would it mean to you to be taking that belt home to Colorado?
Yeah, it mean a lot, man. I worked really hard for it, man. Like, I worked really, really hard for it. I didn't do a lot of partying, and it's like years and years of hard work, right? Like, I didn't do a lot of partying in college because I was at practice. I didn't make a lot of friends, in the last few years because I was always at practice. I don't have a lot of the same relationships I had with old friends because of, me working my ass off every single day, and me putting a lot of my energy or all of my energy into becoming a world champ. And I think that that's the only reason I'm sitting here is because I've been doing that for a really long time now.
Thank you. Best luck.
Thanks.
Cory, over here. Hi. What's on the line for you in this fight other than the interim belt?
What's on the line? I definitely don't want to go home and lose a bunch of sleep over losing again because losing sucks. That's always what's on the line, though, right? Like, it's either winning or losing, right? Like, a million things can happen in this sport. I just lost my last fight. Now I'm fighting for a world championship. So I don't really think too far of, like, is this good? Is this bad? Obviously, winning is better, but losing sucks, man. Like, that's what's always on the line for me is I hate losing. I hate losing all those nights of sleep. I hate everything about losing except for, the learning process that usually comes like a month later or whatever. But yeah, that's always on the line for me, man. I hate losing.
So let's imagine if Jan would rematch this weekend with Sterling. So who would win, in your opinion?
I think Yan would definitely have won that fight against Sterling for the second time.
Um, that's all I think.
Okay. Cool. Thanks, guys.
Volkan, right here. Welcome back to Abu Dhabi. We haven't really seen you much since your last fight. So for those straight out, like, what have you been up to the last year and a half since we last saw you fight?
Training, as usual. Training, a little bit enjoying, but mostly training. It's my last fight wasn't the best time for me to being to being in terms of lack of training, and now obviously I went back to the drawing board and I worked twice as hard.
Well, looking back, that your last fight was in the peak of this pandemic era. I think it was one of the first few fights on this card. Going into that fight, looking back, was there just a lot of stuff going on outside of training in terms of like the world that maybe distracted you going into that fight? Maybe you just didn't have the best training camp, correct?
Yeah, obviously it's been really different. Last time was all the problem in the world with the coronavirus virus and everything. But I made the best out of it. Also, everything was closed. I went by my way. I rented a small places, put some mat from my gym, and I trained over there with some of my guy. But this time it was way easier. Obviously, traveling was allowed for most of the people, and the camp was more easier this time.
And looking at this fight against Ankalaev, he's obviously a fighter that has a lot of hype right now. He's on a long win streak. So what do you make of his skills inside the octagon? Have you been impressed with what you've seen?
Yeah, obviously, he's a really tough guy. He's riding a 6 fight winning streak, and he's a little quiet as well because some people don't really know about him. But if you ask, people that know about fighting, they're really impressed. So obviously it's a good key also for me. It's somebody that I respect a lot because he's strong. He has a silent but strong guy, and obviously he's a really tough opponent.
He's not really known for his grappling. You obviously have a lot of knockout wins. He has a lot of knockout wins. Is this the type of fight that excites you, just going in there and just a stand-up war with someone that has such a high level striking?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a stand-up war. He's also have like a Greco background or something like that, but I don't think he's really using it. Probably going to be forced to use it in this fight, but it's not like that. I was talking earlier with somebody. Having knockout power is not the only thing that really matters. You have to welcome the fight, and he being kind of a counter striker, like walking back a lot. not really engaging. I don't think he's gonna really go into this deep water with me. As long as the blow are gonna be trading, it's gonna be totally different for him.
And then finally, can I just get your thoughts on the main event between Yan and Glover? Obviously, your weight class in a fight that I think a lot of fight fans are very happy to see between two high-level fighters that are also very friendly with one another.
I actually like both of them as well. My first fight in the UFC was when Yan got actually injured 2 weeks out of this fight, and I came in as a replacement. Glover is actually he has been here for forever, so I also wish him the best. Obviously, gotta be a winner, so we'll see about that on Saturday. I'll let the face decide. But I wish them good. It's also good to see that you can last that long inside the sport. This sport is actually really different than anything else. Like you actually mature. The more you grow older, you get more experience. You actually get better. Like it's like wine. It's the more time pass, the more you get good at, because there is so much different discipline. It's not like only boxing or only wrestling. You also have to incorporate all of them. To be good, and sometimes takes time. As long as you can as long as you can stay injury free, you're good to go.
Hey, Volkan. Just curious, in today's mixed martial arts world, we get a lot of people who talk trash and try and build up fights that way. For you personally, is it nice to see a main event between two guys who are actually friendly with each other and it's just about the sport rather than the talk?
Yeah, talk is also good. Sometimes it depends what kind of talks. Some action, some friction into stare down. I don't really care. I also welcome that to see. Obviously not. I don't really do it myself. I don't really care about that. But it's good to see the sports, being also the main things that interest people, the matchup, the style, and the two warriors entering the octagon.
We have Yuri here as a backup for that main event in case anyone falls out. I'm curious, your opinion, who would he match up better with against in this main event?
For the main event, I think Blachowicz will be the tougher fight for him. Actually, Glover as well, because Glover is like sometimes a zombie. Sometimes he gets knocked down and keeps going for the takedown. Finally, get a lot of punishments. Finally, get the takedown as well. He's actually a really tough guy, but I think Blachowicz will be the tougher fight.
Thank you.
Hi, Volkan. The top of the division has reshaped a bit since you last fought. We have a rise of Jiri Prohaska. We have also Rakic, who you won against. He's also up there. Do you have any plan, any steps that you know that you have to go to be back there again? Like not only this fight, but what to do next?
I mean, next, the plan, long-term plan is the belt. It's there is nothing else than that. This is my main focus. But the plan right now, and I'm not looking past that fight. Is Ankalaev. And gotta win. Gotta win strong. Gotta win impressive also as well. And then I'm gonna back to the title contention as well. Fighting a guy like that, brings me again in the talk. A big victory. Against this guy can bring me two fights close to the title.
Okay. And I'm just curious because in this division, in light heavyweight, we have people like Yan, like Glover, and I wonder, is it some kind of motivation to all the other fighters that you can see the guys that were really close, really on the edge of getting cut from the UFC even, now they are champions or they are fighting for championship. So is it some kind of motivation and a sign that it's never too late to get back on the track and fight for the belt?
For sure. Like I said before, also you get older, also it's good. I think there is the popular meme about Blachowicz. He was like 2-4 in his last few fights in the UFC, and now he's riding a winning streak, being the champion. You see Charles Oliveira as well. Bisping was a champion also really late. It's never too late unless you give up. It's all about that. You got to be here when the rewards are coming. You know, some people just give up before the rewards are coming, and they invest the time and money and efforts, and whenever the fame and everything comes, you know, whenever the goal is arriving for them, whatever it is, they disappear, you know. So you got to be there when the rewards come.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hi.
Hello?
If to compare stand-up skills of Magomed Ankalaev and Alexander Rakic, so who possesses more danger in your opinion?
Rakic is a really fast guy, explosive, you know, cutting the distance as well, forward guy, and Ankalaev is actually more of a counter striker. So it's actually two different styles. I think Rakic is taller also a bit. It's actually hard to judge, you know. It's all about, I think, who's going to implement the game plan the best. I think both are really skilled kickboxers, but actually it's two different styles, you know, for me. So I cannot compare that too much. Rakic was actually a tough fight also as well, but Ankalaev right now maybe has a good winning streak. You know, it's different when you come and you're confident about your ability. You feel unstoppable, and you know that's also dangerous itself.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry. So, hi Marcin. The first question, I just spoke a few days ago to Alexander Volkov, and he said very nice things about you. And one of that was that he was observing you even during the M1 days, and he sees your progress, and he sees that now your stand-up game is better. And he said that you aren't afraid to trade in stand-up right now. So, do you feel that you really gained the confidence in the stand-up?
I think the confidence was built by everything what's happened past last year. The win streak. I actually make some changes in my mind before that, but the win streak make it even stronger. I have like lots of good feelings about Alexander Volkov too, but right now don't want to say this because it's too close to the fight, and we are going to to go at each other crazy. So yeah, he's a great guy, great fighter, tough opponents, but that's things I'm going to use it to bring excite fight.
And the next thing is that the previous opponents that beat him, they were like right away catapulting into the title shot contention. It was Derek Lewis who beat him, and then he fought Daniel Cormier, then Cyril Gane. And I wonder, do you think about that kind of things? That he's the name that if you beat him, you will be right up there in the top.
Well, it is in my mind that beating him will bring me there in a mix. So yeah, but for sure, when it comes to the goal, everyone wants to see exciting fight, and I want to be excited fighter. That when I will be a schedule with the champion, the people will be waiting for this fight and get the great emotion. So right now, I'm just focusing on building this my position as an exciting fighter, and I have a very good partner to show it on Saturday.
Okay, and last one from me. In Polish media, you said that you think you need two more fights to get the title shot. So, out of these top guys, like we know Derek Lewis, Cyril Gane, Stipe Miocic, which of these fights will be the most exciting to you? Outside title shot, of course.
Oh yeah, that's a good question. It's not many fighters there in front of Alexander Volkov, but the great thing would be a rematch with Derek Lewis. He's there, but he's scheduled, so I'm open for anything that's happened after this. But for sure, as I said, that I need to build my name a little bit more to get this chance, and whoever's there ready after Alexander, I'm willing to fight with.
Thank you, Marcin.
Thank you.
Volkov's obviously known for his striking. He's very technical. He does have a lot of knockouts, but he kind of defeats his opponents with a lot of volume and then puts them away. So would you say that his technical ability and his accuracy is his biggest weapon compared to just raw power like a Derek Lewis or Francis Ngannou?
Oh yeah. He's a very technical in the stand-up. He's got big reach and he know how to use it because it's not really often what happens. And he goes forward. He's I see him a little bit like a karate star going there. He know the takedown defense, and that makes his stand-up game a little bit even dangerous. But we have some game plan in my head that will make it different.
Well, speaking of your game plan, we've seen him face like high-level grapplers, high-level wrestlers like a Curtis Blades. He didn't really present any problems against Curtis. When you see a fight like that, is that just the blueprint right there to defeat Alex Volkov? Just take him to the ground so he can't strike with you?
Well, it never come. I'm not a natural wrestler. I never wrestle like a pro. So my wrestling game is like bring a little bit deeper water there in the stand-up and then looking for a takedown. So I'm not focusing about going there and just take him down. I'm just focused on going there, see what he's capable of there in a stand-up, and then change my game if it's necessary. So right now I just see him standing there and start crazy fights from the beginning, go in a deep water, see who's cardio better.
Hi, Marcin.
In the past, you and Volkov was performed in M1 Global. Was an option that you could fight with Volkov maybe 8 or 10 years ago?
Yeah, there was option for our fight, but at the same time, I got offer from the UFC, and I also got offer to fight him, and I choose go to UFC. It's not like he might say I refuse the fight, but I refuse it just to to go higher, to go to the big league, and yeah, does that thing happen?
How do you remember Volkov in this time?
I never met him there like live. I never saw his fights being in the audience. But I remember him as right now as a tough opponent, the guy who never gives up. He might be losing some fights, but he always keep going forward and getting higher, better. So I see him same as he built his position, his style, and and build how good he is like for the years.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One more question. Hello. We have two versions of Alexander Volkov. Which version possesses more danger? I mean, the first one when he was skinny, or the second one when he's bulked up right now?
It's hard to say because I always see fights when you go there and just feel on your skin what your opponent capable of. I don't know what's the reason he gained so much weight, but that makes him a little bit danger in a wrestling and ground game. Also make him a little bit slower in a stand up. So, but you never know. I tell you after Saturday.
Don't you think he will be too strong in this aspect? I mean,
As strong as his power. I think he's strong. He's been strong, but it's not like I'm thinking I'm less strong than him.
thank you.
Thank you.
What's up, guys?
Hey, Glover. Obviously, this is a big fight week for you. Everyone's talking about this final return to the top. How are you feeling ahead of Saturday night?
Feeling great, man. Ready to go.
What would you attribute your resurgence to? What would you attribute the fact that you've been able to stay in the sport this long, to be able to get back to the top after not having a title shot for so long?
Passion for the sport. And lately more discipline about it, more like focus on what I have to do to become a champion. Of course, didn't work before, so was doing something wrong. Like when I fought Gustafsson, when I fought Anthony Johnson, was knocking on the door, like a fight elimination for the belt, and I couldn't get that title shot again. And I say, man, I'm losing time over here. What I have to do, and looking for knowledge, PI and my coaches and my discipline, putting myself like, how much do I want this,
Would you, would you say that's the biggest difference between the Glover now and the Glover he fought for the title before, is discipline?
Yes, 100% discipline.
Yeah.
Back then I was just like a wild fighter, man, just go in and fight, train like a maniac, train like a dog, but always, but you know,
Fans always like it when a slightly older fighter gets to fight for the title. As a guy who's in fights and combat sports, do you look at names like George Foreman, who came out of retirement and won the world title later on in their career? Do you look at them as inspiration?
like you say, fans like that stuff, and I'm a fan of the sport as well, and I love when people overcome situation like break the rules, like doing something that not many people have done it, if I win this title right now, who did that before? Only one guy in UFC, Randy Couture, and it's a hard thing to do, and I'm glad that I'm here, and I am gonna get it Saturday night.
Moving to Saturday night, how do you actually see the fight with Yan playing out? Where are your strengths compared to his? How does the fight go?
I think it's gonna be a great fight, man. It's gonna be a great fight because the style matchup is amazing. Yan, he likes to come in and finish fights, and he goes after. And you know me, the record speak for itself. Uh, I'm a fighter, and it's gonna be a great fight.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Speaking on that, you have I believe the most stoppage wins in light heavyweight history for the UFC. Jan actually has more submission wins than knockouts in his career, but everyone lately talks about his Polish power. So, as a high-level jiu-jitsu practitioner yourself, is his jiu-jitsu underrated in the eyes of MMA fans, do you think?
Not in my eyes, I trained my ass off for Jan's jiu-jitsu. I know how strong he is. But I'm not concerned about it. I have the most submissions in UFC. My jiu-jitsu is MMA jiu-jitsu, as I always say. Um, but yeah, he's well-rounded fighter. That's why he's a champion now. And I'm not concerned about it. But I know I respect it.
Then looking at his last fight against Israel Adesanya, you were there, octagon side. A lot of people were talking about what Israel couldn't do and what he didn't do. But when you're sitting there watching Jan beat Izzy, what are you seeing that Jan Blachowicz is doing that no one else could do against Israel inside the octagon?
Yeah, first of all, you gotta respect his power, and that's what Adesanya did. Can't go in just like that. You feel the guy in the first round, and you see how hard he's hitting. And Adesanya, this guy didn't want to take that chance, man. Didn't want to take that chance to get knocked out like he did in the other guys in the middleweight division. This is different, and I was yelling at him to take him down. I say the ground is the way, bro. Take him down, because I was ruining for him for that fight.
And then we've spoken to a few light heavyweights, like retired and current, like Anthony Smith and Forrest Griffin and everything. And they say this fight is tough for them to watch because they like both of you as people. A lot of fighters like the two of you. They don't know who to root for. So what do you say to them that, like, you're fighting someone that you respect, but all of these fighters, they don't want to see you guys fight because they like you so much. They don't want to see one of you lose.
Yeah, I've been in a situation before. I like both guys, and the best is gonna win, man. We here doing our job. We love what we do. We get paid to do what we do, and you know, they know that. It don't matter. I hope like my mom say all the time. I'm praying so no one gets hurt. And hopefully no one gets hurt bad. Talk about injury bad. But yeah, somebody's gonna get hurt, and it's gonna be Yan.
And then I think earlier this week, your story of how you got to America came out, and I don't think a lot of people, they knew it was hard for you to get into the United States, but they didn't quite know the journey that it took. So when your story came out, were a lot of fans reaching out to you and fighters being like, "Wow, this is such an insane story. We had no idea."
Yeah, lately, a lot of people say, gotta make that movie.
Sure do.
Get that belt, make that movie. But yeah, come to United States. Yeah, it was like at that time where I'm from was like something that when you kid, I remember being like 9, 10 years old and thinking like, oh, I can't wait until I get old so I can go to United States. And everybody was going that way, that way. I'm not proud of it, the way I did it, crossing the border like that. But that's what happens, and I paid the price for. I wait 5 years after Dan White shake my hand and say, "Get your stuff figured out, and you get you in UFC." And if I had to pay that price. 5 years later, I was there.
And then one last thing, I think when you were in San Diego for so long, and then eventually you got to Connecticut, correct? After San Diego?
Yeah, because we crossed
Yeah.
to San Diego, but yeah, I was like few days there,
So
couple weeks maybe.
why did you choose Connecticut?
I
It's Danbury, Connecticut, right?
Danbury,
Yeah.
Connecticut.
Why did you choose Danbury, Connecticut?
Yes, I have some friends there already. Some people from my hometown. They go to Connecticut. Connecticut is a big part. Greenwich, Connecticut. All those big millionaires have their houses there, so it's big in jobs, landscaping and construction, and a lot. Is a big Brazilian community there. Um, and he called me and say, "Hey, that's where I'm going. I wanted to work landscaping. That's what I used to do back home, pretty much." So I went to Connecticut and I met my wife there, and I didn't want to get out. That's it. It become my second home.
Over. Just wanted to ask you, everyone appreciates that you're getting better and better, it seems, especially at this stage of your career. I know you mentioned discipline there, but in terms of skills, how have you become better, and in what way have you become better, do you feel?
My I think my boxing has just got better, man. Training with a bit more caution about it. Training smarter is a big key. Drilling a lot. And like I say before, I was rely too much in my power, my strength, and thinking like didn't have to drill too much anymore. I was not the kind of guy that drill too much anymore, and realized that it's never too late to learn new things. You can always learn new things because I remember a couple old fighters that I trained with that they didn't even warm up. They just come in, get ready for fight. Talk about old fight. I don't want to say the names of because I don't want to put, but they it's like have the last couple fights. You know, um, say, oh, I have a fight coming up, so they just come in, put the gloves on, and start spar and go home. And just back then I was like, hey man, that's what I'm gonna do, just gonna go in, spar, and go home. But it didn't work out, right? It didn't get me a title shot, didn't get me championship. So I have to humble myself and start learning new things and start approving and get better what I know best. And for that, my boxing got better, my jiu-jitsu got better because the drilling and the pushing.
And you mentioned there as well that a big difference between last title shot, this one, is how much you want it. Can you just put into words how much you do want this to go home with this belt, please?
I want this. You see Saturday night how much I want this. I'm not leaving the octagon. I always say like you leaving your shield or you don't come at all home. And I'll come home with that belt.
And just very lastly, just to touch on being here in Abu Dhabi, you've got a lot of support here, don't you? I think you've friends and stuff in Abu Dhabi. So how nice is it going to be performing in front of them on Saturday night?
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of support all around the world, man. I guess people was like they met me and they know me, and it's like Maldonado say something. Fabio Maldonado say something nice nowadays. Like he say, if you really know this guy, it's hard to not ruin for him. And it's a big compliment, man. People been like. Very supportive over here, and I have a few friends over here from Brazil. They come, to teach jiu-jitsu, and I think it's gonna be a good crowd in there.
Best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, Glover. I wanted to ask you, when you look at your story and you're rising again, like from the ashes, like a phoenix, and if you compare it to Jan Blachowicz, what similarities do you see, and maybe what the differences between you and Jan, not as a fighters, but as your stories and as you as a people?
Yeah, we keep saying that. I think he said it before. I say it before. Like very similar. He lost a couple fights. People give up at him, kind of like and I've been in that situation too. I've been in his shoes before. Like people look us like this guy never be a champion. This guy never be. He'll never get that anymore. And after I lost a couple fights, I remember like I have like um, 3 fights winning streak. I beat Rashad Evans and I fought Anthony Johnson. That was supposed to be a title elimination. It was a title elimination. Anthony Johnson fought for the title later. Um, I remember just losing that fight, and people just like brush me out. Like yeah, this guy's he'll never be a champion anymore. He's a nice guy, but he'll never be a champion. And we proved them wrong. We both did, and we're still doing it.
Okay. So, as you said, there are people that said that you will never be a champion, and the same in the case of Jan. So, did you think that Jan will be a champion like a few years ago when you saw him first time, or after a few fights in the UFC?
Yeah, it's hard to say, not really. I always thought he's a tough guy. I met Jan the first time when I fought over Simper. We shared the same locker room, so we were working out together. Not together, but like same locker room the whole week, and we talk a lot. And super nice guy. Um, and after that, I met him few more times. Um, not really, but I knew he was gonna. I told my friends he was gonna win that fight with the title when he was here. I told my friend, I say, hey, Jan is gonna beat Reyes because everybody talk about Reyes. Reyes walking around like he's the champion already, and Jan keep just come humble and relaxing. And I say to my friend, he's gonna beat he's gonna be a champion. I remember saying that.
Okay. So, last two from me. I don't know. Do you hear me? Yeah, no problem.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So, this win streak that you have has been superb to you, and as we know, people are rooting for you as well for Jan, but they really want to be happy to see you being happy and getting that title. So would you say that this journey so far to get the title shot was so enjoyable and that you are just happy right now, or it all comes down to this Saturday? And if you don't win, it won't mean nothing, what you have accomplished in a few previous fights.
Man, it's been a lot of sweat, blood, and tears to get here. Um, no, it don't matter, man. I wanted to be a champion. I'm going to be a champion. That's the mindset that I have now. I feel like I'm already champion. People treat me like a champion. I've been treated like a champion over here, and it's amazing. I uh, I feel pretty confident about it. But no, that doesn't take away uh, what I've done, man. That doesn't take away what I've done. I'm going over there. I'm gonna do my best, and whatever happens. I still gonna live my life. I'm having an amazing life. It's not like all or nothing. It's at the end of the day, it's a belt. It's something that eventually we all gonna lose it. We all gonna not be a champion anymore. Everybody's gonna forget about it. We can't identify yourself with that. We something beyond that. So no, not at all.
Okay, and last one from me, not about this event and your fight, but we are also close to see your pal Alex Pereira, first time in the UFC, and I wonder, what do you think? How good he will be in this middleweight division?
I don't know, man. That guy is scary. He's scary with those 4 ounce gloves. Very strong, very powerful, and very dedicated. He's incredible, man. The way he learned things, and it's a guy that you know, uh, this is the first fight in UFC. Probably like little nerves, little everything, but like no doubt he's gonna be one of the top contenders very soon.
Okay, thank you, Glover. Best of luck on Saturday.
Right, man.
Hi, Glover. Over there. One more question about Yan, but about Petr Yan. So your expectations and can you please give a prediction for his fight against Sandhagen?
Against who?
Cory Sandhagen. He's fighting for the title against Cory Sandhagen on
Who?
the Petr Yan.
Oh, yeah. Man, I'm so focused in my fight. It's like I know Petr Yan is like he's incredible kid, man. He's amazing fighter. It's like I don't know. Yeah, I'm so focused in this fight. Usually I would answer that question better if I was not in a card. But like yeah, just focus in this fight.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Glover. It's obviously 7 years since you last fought for this title. There's been some relatively dark days since then. What is it that's kept you motivated and going towards the title shot on Saturday?
The love for the sport, man. I love what I do, and this is the only thing I can do best. Is to fight. Um, I can even, people talk to me like retired and retire. I was like, I'm not seeing myself retired. I can like not planning, but like, of course, what I'm gonna do is teach and pass it on. But like the passion, man, love for the sport, and the when you love something that much, when you want something that much, you gotta figure out, figure out how to get it, and that's what I have been doing.
Um, you're going to be fighting 2 days after your 42nd birthday. How long do you think you've got more to go? Because obviously it doesn't all just end on Saturday. What else is there to come from Glover Teixeira?
Don't really care, man. I'm so happy to be here, become a champion. Been fighting almost 20 years now, and yeah, that really, don't really matter how long, but like how, for sure I'm not want to make any decision right now, but like winning this belt, thinking of defending next year, I'm not, this is what comes in my mind right now, but like I'm not planning like, oh, I wish I can fight, 45, 40, don't really matter. I mean, I think the day, I always say this, I think I'm going to make that decision in the gym, maybe, because the day that I don't feel motivated anymore to go train, to go after, you'll be like, yeah, man, I'm not feeling like. That's the day that I'm probably gonna call my manager and say, "Yeah, man, I don't have on me anymore. I'm done." But like, I still got it. I still love it. And who knows? Who knows? Let God make that decision.
All the best for Saturday.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
1 second. We had an issue with power.
Magomed, right here. First of all, it's nice to see you again ahead of your fight against Volkan Oezdemir. Just your initial thoughts on Volkan as an opponent ahead of Saturday night or Saturday morning for us.
Привет, Магомед. Можешь немножко рассказать просто свои мысли про своего оппонента Волкана Оездемира?
Приветствую всех. О сопернике что я могу сказать? Соперник дрался за титул. Он очень опытный, мощный. Я думаю, у нас с ним получится очень хороший бой.
Hi, everybody. What can I say about my opponent? He's a very strong, experienced guy who fought for the title. So I think we'll have a very cool and fireworks in the cage.
He's also an opponent that when fighters have beaten him, they've gone on to fight for the title, like an Anthony Smith or a Dominic Reyes. So, are you viewing this matchup as just the next logical step towards your next title, towards your first title shot in the UFC?
Многие бойцы, которые с ним дрались, они потом получали титульный бой. Воспринимаешь ли ты это как, следующую такую ступень логическую к титульному бою?
Ну, конечно, я бы хотел подраться за титул после этого боя, но это решает UFC. Если дадут, то я буду рад. Если нет, то будем биться дальше.
Yeah, of course, I would really like to fight for the title after that fight, but it's not up to me. It's up to UFC, and I would love to fight for the belt, but if not, I will just keep fighting.
Volkan also, he has a lot of knockout victories. You have a lot of knockout victories. I think he has maybe 1 or 2 submission wins. So, but when you view his striking, how does it compare to yours? Is it just a power difference, or do you see a lot of holes in his game when he fights?
Волкан Оездемир, он известен благодаря своей ударке. Ну, у него есть, конечно, несколько сабмишенов, но все равно мы знаем его как ударника. Можешь ли ты сравнить его ударную технику со своей? То есть, как ты думаешь, что ну, вот он хороший, мощный ударник, или ты видишь какие-то зазоры в его, ну, в его ударке, какие-то проблемы?
Но я не считаю его самым хорошим ударником. У него единственное, что есть, у него тяжелая банка, он может тяжело ударить. А так я не считаю его в техническом плане, что он хороший ударник.
I don't consider him as a best striker. I know that he has a lot of punching power, so like one punch, you know, a knockout. But in a technical way, he's not the best striker for sure.
And then finally, last question. How do you see the main event playing? I know you said you wanted a title shot soon, or if after this one. Later on in that evening, Glover and Yan are going to fight for the title. Who do you think wins that fight?
Можешь дать прогноз на главный бой, кто, соответственно, в титульном бою Тeixeira против Блachowicza выиграет?
Ну, я не знаю, там, я считаю 50-50.
I don't know, it's like 50-50, you know.
Я могу на русском, да, и ты перейдешь. Магомед, приветствую. Вадим Тихомиров, match2.ru. Я слышал такую теорию, что Волкан Оездемир бьет не в челюсть, а бьет в висок либо за ухо, и эти удары чуть другой эффект имеют, и к ним нужно быть готовиться. Мог ли бы ты сказать, как профессиональный боец, там, действительно ли это так, и готовились ли вы там как-то к этому специально, обращали ли на это внимание?
Сейчас я переведу, секунду. I heard the theory that Volkan Oezdemir, he hits not to the jaw, but to the ear or the certain area, like a different area, not to the jaw. Can you elaborate about that and as a professional fighter, give your opinion on that?
Да, мы готовились к нему, пересмотрели его бои. Честно, немного, пару боев пересмотрели. Он бьет сильно, да, но он очень медленный, скажем так. И все возможно. Мы будем смотреть, и я думаю, у него скорости не хватит, чтобы достать.
Yeah, we watched a couple of his fights and we studied his technique. But yeah, I know that he hits really hard, but I think he's too slow, and I don't think that his striking speed is enough for me. So yeah, I think it shouldn't be a problem.
Магомед, приветствую. В твоем весе не так давно появился такой интересный персонаж, как Иржи Прохаска. Как он тебе? И считаешь ли ты его, может быть, самым таким непредсказуемым сейчас бойцом в 93 килограмма?
In light heavyweight division, we have like a very interesting new character, Irji Prochaska. What do you think about him? And is he like the most unpredictable and interesting, you know, fighter for you?
Да, он интересный боец. Вот последних два боя он показал, на что он способен, но он тоже бросается очень открыто. Но я считаю, если нам дадут такой бой, это будет очень интересный бой.
Yeah, in his last two fights, he showed that he's like legitimate guy, and I think it's a good matchup for me. It's a very interesting matchup, and yeah, I will take this fight for sure.
Последний пост у тебя в Инстаграме выложен 12 мая, то есть 5 месяцев назад. Почему тебе вот настолько не близка какая-то медиа-активность? То есть тебе просто неинтересно или нет времени?
Your last Instagram post was like 5 months ago. Why you don't have any, you know, activity in the social media? Is it not interesting for you at all?
Да, действительно, мне эти вопросы задают очень многие и пишут, почему ты не ведешь Инстаграм. Ну, я скажу так, я бы хотел ее вести, просто у меня получается так, утром тренировки, обедом сплю, у меня просто нету на это времени. Я думаю, в дальнейшем я уже займусь этим.
Yeah, a lot of people ask me about why I'm not in a social media, and I would really love to do that, but I simply don't have time for it because I have trainings in the morning. After that, I got sleep and trainings after. So yeah, it's in my plans to do that.
И последний вопрос от меня. Вот если брать верхушку дивизиона полутяжелого, какой самый, на твой взгляд, тяжелый соперник для тебя стилистически вот в этом плане там есть сейчас?
If we're speaking about top-ranked opponent in a light heavyweight division, who do you think the most challenging opponent for you stylistically?
Ну, я думаю, самым тяжелым было бы с Блachowicz, так как он физически мощный и борется, и бьет очень тяжело, я бы отметил его.
Yeah, I think obviously Blachowicz will be my choice because he has such a good wrestling skills and also like hard punches. So yeah, I think it will be him.
Магомед, извини, еще один вопрос. У тебя были спарринги с Кори Андерсоном в 2018 году. Он сейчас будет драться с другим твоим бывшим соперником Вадимом Немковым. В чем для Вадима будут сложности в этом бою?
Magomed used to spar with Cory Anderson, and he will fight Vadim Nemkov soon. So, what do you think will be problems for him?
Да, Кори Андерсон, он борется очень хорошо, очень вынослив и бьет тяжело, но у него, я думаю, голова чуть слабая. Когда пропускает, он быстро падает. Единственное, что я могу сказать, ну, это будет очень хороший бой, да, но будем болеть за Немкова.
It will be a really cool fight. Of course, we will support Nemkov. Cory Anderson is a really good guy, very durable and very strong. But when he got punched in the head, it's a big problem for him. So I think he has like weakness for the power. So yeah, I think it will be a problem for Cory Anderson.
Магомед, Ислам Бабаджанов, Спортэкспресс. Мог бы ты назвать поединок своей мечты в UFC?
What is your dream fight in UFC?
Бой за пояс.
Title fight.
То есть соперник не имеет значения для тебя, кто будет?
Нет, пока мы хотим пояс.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who opponent is. It's just the belt.
Вокруг тебя вот в настоящий момент много шумихи, в частности, иностранцы много говорят о тебе, отзываются как о будущем возможном чемпионе. Вот такие слова тебя... Ты как чувствуешь себя после таких слов? Есть переживания, есть ответственность? Что испытываешь внутри?
Конечно, приятно, когда говорят...
There is a lot of buzz around you and a lot of people abroad consider you as a potential next light heavyweight champ. So how make it feel like this all talks and all the attention?
Конечно, приятно, когда говорят, когда поддерживают, но почему-то из моего весовой категории никто не называет меня, никто не хочет драться. Все забывают меня почему-то. А так, конечно, мы делаем все, работаем, чтобы стать лучше, чтобы забрать этот пояс.
Yeah, it's really cool to realize that everybody supports you and everybody talking about you, but it's about the fans. But if we're talking about the fighters, nobody names me as a potential opponent. For some reason, nobody wants to fight me, and everybody like keep forgetting about my name. But I'm doing everything that I could to get this belt.
Спасибо.
Yan. Welcome back to Fight Island. Does it feel good to be back here knowing that this is the place that you won the belt so many, like I think it was a year ago over Dominic Reyes?
1 year ago. Yeah, it's lucky place for me. I'm happy to be back here, good memories. Like I said, lucky place, Anyway, good weather, just 2 hours time different between here and Poland, so no jet lag. I feel great, so I'm happy that I can fight here again.
Did you ask to fight here when they announced they were going to come back, or did the UFC approach you to fight here?
No. They just, give me the place and time, and I say, okay, let's go.
And then looking at Glover as an opponent, we were up here, and he said, because we've spoken to a lot of other fighters like Forrest Griffin, Anthony Smith, and they don't like this fight because they like both of you as people. They don't want to pick a winner. And Glover says, that's true. Someone's going to get hurt, and it's probably going to be you. He said it very friendly. So what do you make of Glover as an opponent?
He's a great opponent, with great skills, a lot of experience. He's, longer than me in the sport, so we are friends. No bad blood between us, but that don't change anything, When we step inside octagon, when fight will start, I have to knock him out, and I will do it.
And looking at his actual skill set, he has a lot of knockouts, but he's also very high level on the ground. He has the most, I think, stoppage wins in the light heavyweight division in UFC history. So when you're watching him fight, where are his biggest holes that you see inside the octagon?
I think experience. He knows how to use experience, He's got really good cardio. He knows how he uses his boxing skill. First of all, he take you down, make you tired, and then he finish you on the ground or he knock you out. But we train for that. We are ready for that. A lot of fighters make mistake when they hit him hard. They try to finish him too fast, and he catch him in his game, Like I said, a lot of experience. He know how to use it. But I'm ready for that, and I will show you, how I'm gonna defeat him in Saturday.
Where would you say he's more dangerous, on the ground or on the feet?
When he make you tired on the ground, then he's dangerous everywhere. We train everything for this fight. I focus a lot on the ground game. I've got the best fighters on the ground in in Europe, even in the world. So I'm ready for this part, and I will not afraid do everything in stand-up, because if he take me down, I'm gonna be ready for that. But of course, I don't forget about stand-up. I have to keep my hands up. But anyway, I think that he gonna use his boxing only for take me down and make me tired, and then maybe he gonna try to use his stand-up skill.
Now, I think I saw a photo. Did you bring your baby?
Yeah.
This fight week? Does that make it harder to focus?
No,
on the
no, I'm happy that he is here, because he's my biggest motivation right now. Of course, we've got different rooms. Yeah, he stay with his mother in different room because I had to sleep, recovery, and focus about the fight. But I'm happy they are here because I don't have to think about them, what they do in Poland, what happened with them. I hug him every day, and he just give me the power.
How was he on the flight?
I say it so I didn't. But that was she chose it this kind of way, because if she will be with me in business class, I will hear that he crying. I will not can relax. This is not that wasn't my choice.
Hey, Jan. You said that you've been.
So when we are gonna come back, we're gonna be together in business.
When you're preparing for Glover, you have Yuri here as a backup. Is it more tricky to know that you could potentially fight someone like Yuri because he's so crazy and unorthodox, or do you just not even think about him until it might happen?
I don't think about Yuri, I focus 100% about Glover, because I believe that fight will be, and we are here. Glover is here, I'm here. He is healthy, I'm healthy, no injuries, so that was good. You okay? So that was
That's
good.
Yuri. He's very angry at you.
Yeah. So that was good, idea to don't thinking about Yuri.
Would you be disappointed if Glover was unable to fight on Saturday?
Little bit yet, because he just deserved for this title shot. Anyway, he gonna lose it, but he deserved for a title shot.
Why does Corey Anderson have such a problem with you?
I don't know. This is a question for him. I don't want to talk about him anymore. I focus about the serious things.
Recently, Paulo Costa has been told by UFC President Dana White that he's moving to the 205-pound division. What do you think about Paulo, and what do you think he could bring to the light heavyweight division? And also, what did you think about him changing the weight class and all that stuff?
No, he's a great fighter, but we will see how he gonna how he gonna be good fighter on 205 or not. Because it's completely different. He's big, so maybe he's gonna be better than in this lower division, but I don't think so. We will see. We have to wait.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, and you obviously mentioned that a lot's changed in your personal life, especially since the last time you were here. How does that impact you as a fighter, or does it at all?
Yeah, no, I'm just happy, I'm just happy that I become, UFC champion. I do this all my life, and finally I'm on the top, and I like it. I don't want to go anywhere. I will stay on this top, I'm just happy. I enjoy my life. A lot of good things happen to me, so we just enjoy it every day. What's happening in our life right now?
And Volkan was in earlier, and he mentioned that Glover is like a zombie. What's your reaction to that? How do you prepare for that, even mentally, especially?
So if he is a zombie, you know how to kill the zombie. You need to, hit him in the head very hard. So I will do it.
Thank you.
Hi, Jan. First, this fight was supposed to take place at the beginning of September. You had almost two months more to prepare for this fight. So, how did you use it, and do you think that it will play an important factor in this fight?
I just use it, I have a longer vacation, so it's good for me. I just focus about, recover my body, fix some small injuries. So it was good for me that I've got more time to prepare.
Okay, and Glover was here before you, and he said that he was asked if your BJJ is being underestimated in the MMA community, and he said he's definitely not underestimating your jiu-jitsu. So, do you think that you have the quality and the skills to submit him if there is a chance in the fight?
We will see in Saturday. I believe that my jiu-jitsu skills is, in this level that I can submit him, But like Glover, I've got a lot of respect to his skills. I have to be ready, not only for jiu-jitsu, not only for wrestling, but also for stand-up.
Okay, and the last questions, maybe not so serious, but I just wonder, are you getting annoyed with the questions about Corey Anderson as much as previously about John Jones, or is it not the same level right yet?
It's not the same level, Like I said before, I don't want to talk about him anymore.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, if you win, do you think Alex Rakic could be an option for you? Or do you say he has to fight against Jiri to...
If I will be matchmaker, I will do this fight, Rakic versus Jura, and then and winner of this fight will be next opponent. But I'm not matchmaker. When UFC signed me opponent, I signed contract and fight. I don't like to choose my opponents. I never done this before, and I will not do this in future because I just don't like to do it.
Hi, Jan. What is your prediction for the fight outcome, Petr Yan and Cory Sandhagen?
Petr Yan, KO, third round.
Thank you.
Welcome. That's it? Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. See you in Saturday.
First of all, welcome to Fight Island. What are your initial thoughts on Amanda as an opponent ahead of your fight on Saturday?
Bem-vindo à Ilha da Luta. Qual é a sua visão da Amanda como oponente agora? Está chegando tão perto.
Então, a Amanda, ela é uma atleta completa, né? Ela mistura muito bem e eu foco, né, obviamente, no ponto forte, nas vulnerabilidades do oponente, mas sobretudo em mim, né, no meu potencial. E eu acho que é uma grande luta, tenho certeza que vai ser uma grande luta. Eu venho de uma vitória, né? Eu estou muito empolgada, tenho aprendido bastante, né? Estou muito encantada com as coisas que eu tenho aprendido. E eu acho que do outro lado vem uma Amanda querendo vencer também, né? Então acho que vai ser uma luta muito interessante de se ver.
Yeah, she's a complete fighter, and on my side, I'm trying to focus more on myself and what I'm doing and what I can do to her than on her as an opponent. Just trying to focus more on vulnerabilities and things that we are able to explore. I'm coming off a big win. It was a very interesting camp, and the past two fights were very interesting opponents that allowed me to develop a lot. And I think she's coming off a loss, so for sure she's going to be very hungry. So it has the makings to be a very interesting fight.
I think a lot of people viewed her as a future champion for so long, and then when they stumbled, maybe some fans thought, well, maybe she was a little overrated. As a fighter, did you think she was kind of being overrated in the eyes of the fans, or had you been impressed with her skills after watching her fights?
Agora, no começo da carreira dentro do UFC, o pessoal falava dela como uma, de repente, futura campeã. E agora meio que deu uma diminuída nisso, né, com os últimos resultados. Como que você via ela antes, né, no começo? Você imaginava que de repente ela tinha essa capacidade ou você nunca viu nada disso?
Bem, eu acho que nós somos perfectíveis, né? A gente está sempre se aperfeiçoando, então eu acho que a maioria de nós pode se aperfeiçoar a ponto de ser campeã, né? Mas eu sempre vi a Amanda como uma atleta, né? Uma boa atleta e etc. Mas eu sempre me vi como campeã do UFC. Então, eu acho que eu seria a próxima campeã e eu quero mostrar isso para o mundo, né? Eu tenho mostrado step on step, bem por aí.
Yeah, I think as people we can always improve. We're always improvable beings, and I don't think that I saw her as someone that was already there, but she can always work on her craft and become better, and that's what I'm trying to do. I can see myself as a champion eventually, and I'm working very hard on perfecting my skill and becoming the best version of myself that I can be.
And Amanda's obviously a high-level grappler. You, I think, have the best jiu-jitsu, if not in the women, especially at 115. How would you compare your jiu-jitsu to hers inside the octagon?
A Amanda é uma menina que tem um chão muito bom, né? É identificada como uma das melhores da divisão, mas você, ele considera o melhor jiu-jitsu da divisão e, de repente, até dentro do UFC. Como que você acha que se compara o seu chão com o dela?
Thank you. Bem, na verdade, eu acho que o meu jiu-jitsu, ele é um jiu-jitsu. Eu consegui adequar meu jiu-jitsu ao MMA, né? Muito bem. Então, acho que eu tenho uma boa pressão, né? E eu sou muito efetiva ali no chão. Eu acho que esse é o diferencial do meu jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I think that the thing with my jiu-jitsu is that I was able to adapt pretty well my style with the gi to MMA. And that's a major thing, it's just two completely different things, so adaptation there is mandatory, and I think I'm able to use my jiu-jitsu in a more effective way than most, just the way that I use pressure and just trying to make the most out of every movement, out of every opportunity. I think it's key to, being able to be successful with it.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Peter, welcome back to Abu Dhabi. How are you feeling ahead of this fight on Saturday?
Все отлично, чувствую себя хорошо.
Everything's great. I'm feeling very good.
How do you feel that you're actually going to be facing Cory Sandhagen instead of Aljamain Sterling? Are you annoyed that it's not Aljamain, or do you not even care about Aljamain anymore?
Раздражен ли тем, что ты не со Стерлингом будешь драться, либо тебе все равно на него наплевать?
Нет, я не раздражен. У меня цель осталась прежняя. В принципе, это пояс. А с кем драться, я говорил, мне не важно.
No, I'm not annoyed at all. My goal was to win the belt, and it doesn't matter who's standing across from me.
If it was up to you, would you rematch Aljamain to prove that you're the better fighter, or do you think it's okay for you to just move on and maybe fight TJ Dillashaw should you win on Saturday?
Если бы ты решал, для тебя было бы важно получить реванш со Стерлингом, чтобы доказать, что ты лучше как боец, либо ты предпочел бы подраться с Дилашем?
Вы же знаете, рематч нужен Стерлингу, чтобы доказать, что он что-то может. Мне рематч с ним не интересен, если в эту субботу у меня будет пояс.
You know, Sterling needs rematch to prove that he can do something. And for me, I'm not interested in the rematch if I win the belt this Saturday.
Все знаете, что он сбежал, он мог драться, он мог сделать эту операцию до поединков, после поединков. Она у него на протяжении 10 лет. Но именно в этот момент он решил это сделать.
As you know, he ran away. He could have done his surgery, you know, after the fight, postpone it, or he could have done it earlier. He had this injury for like 10 years, but he decided to run away.
Do you feel he was deliberately doing that to avoid fighting you again?
Считаешь ли ты, что он специально это сделал, чтобы избежать боя с тобой?
Ну, для меня это не важно, я не хочу об этом думать. О нем вообще не хочу думать.
For me, it doesn't matter. I don't want to think about him at all.
Do you think the UFC, how long do you think the UFC should allow him to remain champion before they consider taking the belt off him? How long would you give him into 2022 before you stripped him?
Как долго ты считаешь, UFC должны не лишать его пояса в следующем году?
Опять же, это все вопросы к UFC. Мне без разницы, что с ним буду делать. У меня бой в субботу за пояс.
You know, all question to the UFC. For me, it doesn't matter. You know, I have a fight for the belt this Saturday.
When you look at Cory Sandhagen as an opponent, where does he have strengths and where does he have weaknesses that you could be better at?
Сильные и слабые стороны Кори Сандхагена.
Это Кори Сандхаген. Вот. Я сейчас не буду говорить о его сильных, слабых сторонах, но достойный соперник, разносторонний, умеет делать все. Я думаю, что в бою уже более явно смогу показать, в каком аспекте я могу доминировать над ним.
I don't want to talk about his strengths or weaknesses. You know, he's a well-deserving opponent who's very versatile and good everywhere. And in the fight, I just want to showcase in which aspect I am greater than him.
Thank you.
Петь, приветствую. Вот ты, когда объявили уже бой со Стерлингом, изначально написал в Твиттере, что знал, что он сбежит, что он откажется от боя. Когда в итоге это произошло, понимал ли ты, то есть пришлось ли тебе перестраивать свою подготовку, или, может быть, ты в голове держал и уже изначально, возможно, готовился под Сандхагена?
Конечно, я когда узнал, что Стерлинг снимется, я предполагал, что всякое может быть вообще в нашем спорте. И, в принципе, я всегда тренируюсь, стараюсь сделать все. Не конкретно концентрируюсь на каком-то оппоненте своем, а делаю все, и уже последние какие-то недели мы вносим какие-то корректировки именно под соперника. То, что Стерлинг снялся так, я уже запутался.
Петр, вот здесь, вот слева от вас, справа от нас. Скажите, ваш менеджер Саят сказал, что в прошлом бою вы были сам не свой и подошли далеко не в оптимальной форме. Можно сказать, с чем это было связано?
Все, что было, то было. Саят вас обманывает. Я вообще не хочу об этом думать, что было, правда. Знаете, сейчас говорить там вообще некрасиво будет. Все четко. Я ни в коем случае не расстраиваюсь. Я понимаю, что это жизнь, и на этом ничего не заканчивается. Поэтому все неудачи – это только опыт для меня. Пояс, ладно, двинемся дальше, заберем другой пояс.
Я к тому, что если это какая-то ошибка в системе подготовки, не может ли она сейчас сказаться на этом бое?
Система всегда дает сбой, любая. Вот, нормально все, к этому бою все нормально.
В прошлом поединке было ли, даже дело не в стерлинге, было ли что-то такое в бою, что вам нужно исправить вот сейчас вот в этой подготовке? Может быть, вы прибавите больше, не знаю, в каких-то тактических хитростях или что-то в этом духе? Я имею в виду, прошлый бой, Саят говорил, что были моменты, над которыми вы сейчас работали.
А Саят не разбирается, он менеджер. Вот. То, что будет в новом бою, конечно, будет все новое, новый соперник, абсолютно другой, ну, стилистически другая работа. Все будет другое, 100%. И это мы поймем и увидим только по ходу, либо после поединка.
Спасибо.
Один из, наверное, самых, ну, необычных антропометрических бойцов в легчайшем дивизионе. А насколько тебе удобно драться с людьми, которые сильно выше тебя? Ну, давно уже не было такой разницы в росте.
Ярослав, честно, не знаю даже. Не пробовал еще драться с такими высокими ребятами. Я говорю, все увидим в субботу.
Походу...
Но я знаю одно, что высоким больнее падать.
В тренировочном лагере с тобой начал работать Шон Кобер, это тренер по функциональной подготовке, и он рассказывал, что, ну, так скажем, замедлял тебя во время подготовки, потому что ты перебарщивал с нагрузками периодически. А какую вот пользу ты извлек главную из работы с Шоном за это время? Я помню, ты говорил, что ты набрал в мышечной массе, еще как-то.
Ну, вообще с Шоном мы тренируемся со второго или с третьего моего поединка, или вообще даже с первого начал я драться. Вот. То, что он меня замедляет, это его личные мысли. Но, конечно же, бывает, когда, знаешь, там, ты разгоняешься, либо приходишь после другой тренировки более усталый. Мне нравится, что он видит состояние мое, где-то я поднагружен, подперегружен, и немножко меняет план своей работы. В целом я доволен работой с Шоном.
Слышно, да? Приветствую, Петр, Вадим Тихомиров, матчтв.ру. Можно несколько вопросов без упоминания Стерлинга и Сандхагена. Вот ты немного закрылся от всех, у тебя было мало интервью. А вообще, сколько человек тебе, например, в день боя может позвонить и поговорить? То есть там это, не знаю, жена, первый тренер, кто-то из родственников. Вот сколько звонков ты примешь в день боя, например?
В день боя, я думаю, что это мама, это супруга, это мои близкие друзья, с кем я держу связь. В принципе, я стараюсь, ну, минимизировать вообще в день поединка контакт с телефоном, с интернетом.
Остались ровно сутки до взвешивания. Мы никогда не видели у тебя тяжелых весогонок. Мог бы ты сказать, сколько, например, ты сейчас весишь, сколько тебе остается убрать?
Ну, утром где-то лишнего у меня было килограмм 5,5.
И я правильно понимаю, что тебе легко дается делать вес, то есть у тебя нет такого, что там тебя поднимают, выносят, ты ходишь в солнцезащитных очках, ну или там какие-то проблемы со здоровьем появляются на фоне этого?
Ну, в данный момент не в солнцезащитных очках. Но вообще, дай бог, все проходит нормально, но всякое бывает. Я не могу сейчас сказать, что будет, как там. С каждым разом у всех происходит, бывает сложнее, у кого-то легче. Вроде все проходит нормально.
И последнее, не было возможности когда-то еще тебе задать этот вопрос, а было бы тебе когда-нибудь интересно поспарринговать с Василием Ломаченко? Он ровно в твоем весе, просто ты тренируешься с топовыми вольниками. Ну и вот интересно такой вопрос тебе задать.
Ну, конечно, с спортивной точки зрения это огромный опыт для меня, потренироваться с такими боксерами, с такими ребятами. Плюс я давно-давно наблюдаю за командой. И я сам боксировал где-то в году 2011 на международном турнире в Казахстане, где вся команда боксировала, и Усик, и Гвоздик, там вся команда. Конечно, было очень интересно потренироваться с ним.
Спасибо, удачи тебе.
Петь, когда в неделю боя ты представляешь себе сам поединок, бывает такое, что ты визуализируешь, как он должен закончиться?
Да, конечно, ведь визуализация и сила мысли, она работает, и нужно обязательно об этом думать. Думать, представлять о золоте, о поясе. Это будет движить, так скажем. двигать тебя к тренировкам, более, так скажем, отдаваться. Ну, такой мотивационный момент. И я тоже об этом думаю, представляю, но вам об этом говорить не буду.
Понял, спасибо.
Петр, здесь. Ислам Бабаджан, Спортэкспресс, издание. Петр, в чем ты во время этого лагеря прибавил больше всего? В каком аспекте? Очевидно, что в каждом из них, но это впервые ты провел сборы в Сочи, если не ошибаюсь.
Я тренировался в России, не в Сочи, в Краснодарском крае, в Анапе. Вот. 6 недель были там, и уже 2 недели были в Абу Даби. Ой, в Дубае, то есть этот. И в чем добавил? Я думаю, что подготовка строилась так, чтобы быть готовым в каждом аспекте. Я говорю, пойму я это только в поединке, правильно? Ну, реально, что я смогу, какие ключи я смогу подобрать и что будет работать именно в бою.
Не было еще также Джона Хатчинсона, тренера по ударной технике?
Ну, по ударной технике у меня был тренер Кайрат Нурмагомедов с Омска. Вот. По борьбе был тренер Андрей. Почему не было тренера по боксу? Потому что был тренер по ударке. И, в принципе, решил, чтобы не было между ними, знаешь, вот этого всегда каких-то качель. Каждый свое навязывает, что-то свое. Решил просто вот так сделать четко все. В принципе, я доволен, что эти ребята были со мной.
Петр, если можно, мы знаем, что ты очень сильно занят во время Fight Week, но была ли у тебя возможность посмотреть поединок Федора Емельяненко? Если да, то какие эмоции ты испытал?
Да, конечно, мы смотрели всей командой вообще турнир, в принципе. Там много ребят наших выступало, не только Федор. Но я очень рад за его победу в 45 лет.
Его скоростные показатели, так скажем, впечатлили тебя?
Ну, просто он был в хорошей форме и сделал все своевременно, четко. С этим я его и поздравляю.
Спасибо.
Just one quick one. Cory was in here earlier, and I was asking him his preparation for you, and he said that he felt he would have the advantage if the fight went to the ground. I would just like your response to his assessment of your skills.
Кори ранее отвечал на его вопрос, и он сказал, что у него будет преимущество на земле в партере над тобой. Как ты думаешь?
На земле, может, у него и будет преимущество, но в партере нет.
Yeah, I don't think he'll have an advantage on the ground.
Hello everybody. First of all, I want to say sorry about my English if I will say something wrong and don't understand your questions.
Alex, right here. Straight ahead. Well, first of all, welcome back to Fight Island. What are your initial thoughts on Marcin as an opponent ahead of Saturday night?
This is what I said before. Can you speak a little bit slowly? And it will be easy to understand.
What do you make of, what is your assessment of Marcin as a fighter?
Marcin is a good fighter. He is tough. He has a good fighter character. He go to the end all the fight. He is good grappler. So I'm waiting from Marcin a good tough fight that will be really interesting to all fans tonight, this night. So I will really excited to fight with him.
He told us that he was very impressed with your technical striking. How would you rate his striking ahead of your fight?
His striking becomes better and better with every fight. I mark this, and when I look his fights, he trying to fight stand up in all of his last fights. That's why I'm feeling that he will try to take me down and wrestle with me, because I don't think he will trying to work with me stand up all of the fight. But we will see. Maybe into this camp his striking became more better than before. It will be interesting fighting in stand up. Who knows?
How would you rate his wrestling and his grappling?
He have really special abilities in grappling and wrestling. He like to take a back and control opponent. He work good in some positions, and my work in this fight will be don't give him this opportunity to take back, to take his better position, or if I give it to him, go out really quick from this. So I am learning him a lot, and I know what he's a good points in the grappling. So his grappling and wrestling is pretty good. Okay.
Александр, приветствую.
Приветствую.
Вадим Тихомиров, Match.ru. Чуть левее тебя, да. Вот вчера вышло твое интервью, где ты говорил, почему ты закрылся и не давал интервью после Гана, и говорил, что бесполезно что-то объяснять, люди все равно будут недовольны. Но вот тебе не кажется, что ты слишком фокусируешься там только на хейтерах, а есть ведь люди, кто за тебя, наоборот, искренне болели, и им, например, было бы интересно тебя услышать?
Ну, в целом, люди, которые именно болели, они, наверное, меня услышали, потому что я все-таки веду свой Инстаграм в некоторой степени. Я давал интервью на некоторых и других, там, то есть я участвовал в подкастах и так далее. То есть, когда у меня появилось желание, и когда появились именно, скажем так, может быть, более интересные площадки для того, чтобы общаться, потому что как бы, я не хочу обидеть наших журналистов, очень многие работают хорошо и популяризируют ММА, но зачастую вопросы повторяются, вот, и не хотелось бы дублировать одно и то же много-много раз, поэтому ну, это просто выглядело бы как, ну, не знаю, небольшое оправдание поединка или что-то такое, хотя, как я уже говорил до этого, я ни в коем случае не пытался оправдываться. И, конечно, благодаря тому, что я ощущаю, что все-таки есть интерес к моему прошлому поединку, именно для этого я все-таки об этом бое разговариваю с вами, рассказываю какие-то моменты, но, опять же, встречаюсь с некоторым непониманием других фанатов. И, кроме того, для этого я завел и свой YouTube-канал теперь, чтобы какие-то такие моменты освещать с точки зрения того, как я это вижу, чтобы, ну, скажем так, по несколько раз не отвечать на одни и те же вопросы именно так, скажем, под разными углами. Ну, в целом я, конечно, понимаю, что мы работаем в большей степени работаем в большей степени для болельщиков, которые нас поддерживают. И я как бы очень благодарен им за это и стараюсь, конечно, с ними коммуницировать в той или иной степени, поэтому о них я тоже не забываю.
18 августа была пресс-конференция Хабиба, его спросили про тебя, и он, может быть, кому-то покажется, что жестко ответил, но он сказал, что Александр отличный боец, хороший человек, но он пока проигрывает топом. Но вот честно показалось, что это было сказано скорее наоборот, чтобы подстегнуть тебя, а не чтобы сказать что-то плохое. Слышал ли ты, в принципе, эти слова, и как ты их сам воспринял?
Да, я слышал, конечно, эти слова, но я не воспринимаю это как что-то, что влияет конкретно на меня, потому что повлиять на себя могу только я. На свои выступления могут повлиять не слова кого-либо, даже если ты Хабиб там, или кто-то еще из наших легендарных бойцов или тренеров. У меня всегда был свой путь, которому я следовал, всегда был свое видение боев, и это делает меня в некоторой степени отличным от других бойцов. Я иду своим путем, какой бы он был успешный, неуспешный, но я не боюсь этого, и мне нравится идти так, как делать это так, как делаю это я. У Хабиба есть свое мнение, он имеет право на него, но я вправе как бы его оспорить своими действиями. Вот. А кто в будущем будет прав, мы увидим.
Последний вопрос от меня. Перед твоими последними боями становится актуальным вопрос веса. Продолжаешь ли ты его там набирать или поддерживать, и сколько ты весишь прямо сейчас?
Сейчас мой вес примерно 18 килограмм. Вот. В эту подготовку не получилось именно поддерживать его с точки зрения силы. Больше времени уходило на техническую работу именно в борьбе. То есть тут на силовую работу немножко меньше времени ушло, но при этом сила осталась на том же уровне, несмотря на то, что вес немножко упал, то есть силовые показатели остались на том же уровне. Может, благодаря тому, что много боролся, это тоже увеличивает в некоторой степени силу. Но сейчас не могу сказать, что я прям концентрируюсь на весе. Сейчас мне веса хватает и больше концентрируюсь на тех навыков, которые мне помогут непосредственно в поединке. Но просто мы знаем, что на самом деле в предыдущих боях часто мне не хватало именно физической силы. Это не то, что веса, а физической силы. Над этим мы работали несколько лет, чтобы этот как бы, пункт чуть улучшить. Вот, поэтому сейчас, в принципе, ее достаточно, и возвращаемся опять к технической работе.
Спасибо, удачи тебе.
Спасибо.
Саша, приветствую. Ты на подкасте Hustle MMA, когда рассуждали о поражениях Федора Емельяненко, первых, ты, так скажем, отмечал важность влияния каких-то посторонних факторов на бойца. Вот ты недавно стал отцом во второй раз, соответственно, у тебя была супруга в положении. Насколько это был серьезный отвлекающий фактор для себя вот в этой подготовке?
Это был серьезный фактор, безусловно, и, конечно, этот фактор был волнителен, но, к счастью, мы до того, как согласиться на бой, я с супругой этот фактор, этот вопрос обсудил, то, что драться мне или не драться, она меня поддержала, и мы понимали, что это хорошая возможность подраться в Абу Даби, потому что сейчас мы знаем, что происходит в США там, с вакцинацией и прочим, то есть с визами непонятно, через какое время я еще подерусь в Штатах, поэтому это хорошая возможность. Естественно, я понимал, что примерно в это время родится ребенок, но, к счастью, все прошло более хорошо. Вот сейчас, наоборот, может быть, груз ответственности немножко спал, потому что ребенок родился, и сейчас я, наоборот, на таком моральном психологическом подъеме, и думаю, что меня это вдохновит намного больше, чем какие-либо моменты, которые мне немножко мешали. Но в целом, спасибо моей супруге, она прям весь этот лагерь прошла очень хорошо, не отвлекала меня, наоборот, даже помогала во многом. Все было отлично.
Часто ли ты за последнее время, перед этим боем, в частности, пересматривал бой с Сирилом Ганом, учитывая, что он такой долгий достаточно?
Нет, я пересмотрел его непосредственно после боя, там в течение недели несколько раз, и к этому больше не возвращался. То есть я для себя на какие-то вопросы я для себя ответил, и я оставил это в прошлом. При этом оставил в будущем некоторую работу над ошибками, ну и понимание того, что нужно будет делать, если мы еще раз не встретимся.
Спасибо, Саша. Удачи.
Спасибо большое. Thank you so much. Спасибо.
Hello guys, I'm back.
All right, well, Amanda, welcome back to Fight Island. What are your initial thoughts of Virna heading into this fight on Saturday?
Thank you to the question. I think this time I will be more motivated. I want to fight, you know.
And all my interviews, I'm saying that because the last time I did all my camp, all my weight cut, and I didn't fight. And now I want to fight. I think my eyes are different because I know now I have more fire in the eyes, you know.
Well, fans haven't really seen you since your last fight against Marina. How has the last few months been for you outside of fighting?
Yes, after that fight, I think I learned a lot because we can't stop. If you stop, another person take your opportunity, and that's it. So if you stop, you lost. And now I am more move. I'm all the time active. I put this in my training, in my life too. I don't want to stop, and that I think changed me.
I think we've seen a lot of fighters. They have so much. They have hype. The promotion, the UFC is pushing them so much, and then when they lose, a lot of fans kind of turn on the fighters. Did you see that with you? Did a lot of fans maybe send nasty messages to you after your last loss?
Thank God, not too much, because sometimes the people is too mean, and they need to agree with me. We are fighters. We just lost because we are in the cage, and when you are in the cage, you can win.
Caught the attention of a lot of the elite level guys. Now it makes sense to get out there and fight them.
Do you know who Hasbulla is? Yeah. Does it upset you that he's going to be here supporting Islam this week?
Who's the other bloke? Who's the guy on my team? Abdul. Abdul's on my team. That's I got a horse on the race now. Now I'm training my boy. I'm training my boy Abdul. No word of a lie. I'm not even shitting. Abdul's on my team. Hasbulla can be on his team. He's picked his horse. He's picked a losing horse. Game on, baby.
A lot's been. Everyone keeps asking you like, how's wrestling been? How's wrestling been? Everyone talks about the Dagestani wrestling, but how is Islam striking when you're watching him fight?
Yeah, it's like yeah, he's standing up. Yeah, he does some stuff. Yeah, cool. Like, hey, that's what I say. A broken clock's right twice a day. You know what I mean? Like he's got a couple knockouts. He's hurt some people. He can strike. Obviously, it's purely to set up his takedowns. Like that's genuinely what like his striking is, to set up his takedowns.
Was there any actual conversation in making this a 5-round fight? I saw you guys tweeting about it.
Well, I like kind of kicked the bucket, and then I got on a plane and come here. So I haven't run into any of the UFC higher ups. So I don't know. Like I've put it out there. If it gets switched, mate, they could switch it whenever. Like you're telling me ringing the bell 2 more times is going to cause that much drama? Like it's not that difficult of a decision to make. I'm willing to do it. If the UFC want it, like let's get it done. He said it's going to be bad for me. I'm gonna take that as a yes. I'm gonna take that as he's game for 5 fights. So whether they do it now, whether they do it tomorrow, whether they do it after weigh-in, whether I get to the venue on Saturday night and they say no, it's 5, not 3 rounds, like good to go. Like I'm game for that. Let's do it.
We spoke with Drew Dober before his fight, and even there was that stretch of time when people thought maybe Michael Chandler would fight him for his debut. They said their DMs just blew up with Russian fans threatening their lives, saying you're going to die, this and that, when they were just tied to a fight with Islam. How did your DMs react when you finally got this fight?
Mate, I've had Russians in the DMs for a long time, but I don't know where that would have possibly started, but it's been for years. I've had years. I'm immune to it. Honestly, like you're just barking up the wrong tree if you think you're going to get under my skin with any computer talk. Like a computer's computer, you know what I mean? Like face to face is a whole different story. And yeah, not many tough guys in your face.
Hi Dan. The first question is, I think it's been a long time since you had normal preparation for a fight. Even it seems like every camp is doomed in a way. So Did you miss having a normal, proper preparation?
I've grown to adjust to it. Like that's like one of the major lessons that I took from like the losses was like coming through those losses. If I were to sit back and think, oh man, if everything was perfect, I would have won those fights. I feel like that's the wrong way to look at it. Instead of changing the circumstances leading up to the fight, I just changed my attitude towards it. Whereas, initially after that, I was like, man, the next one, I want a full camp. I want this. I want my coaches. I want everything to be perfect. And then I came to the realization that I need to give up on that because these are pandemic times. We need to keep the ball rolling. I want to get out there and compete. I need to change my attitude. That's what I did. So I went away and I changed my attitude. And championship mentality, and a champion can adjust whether it's in a fight. A champion can adjust whether it's in training. So that's what I did. No matter what these challenges are, I have a championship mentality, and I adjust to it, and I evolved past it, and I made it work. And I did that with the last fight, and I did it with this fight, where I have absolutely no excuse, regardless of these circumstances. I am 100% confident in my preparation for this fight, and I'm excited to go out there and put on a show.
And you've becoming a fan favorite with every that kind of decision and the fight. But I wonder how your family reacts to these things.
To being
to taking a next fight like right after the previous.
Oh, my family knows me. They know me. They don't give me too much credit for it. They still think I'm an idiot, but they're cool. Like the family's good. They get behind you and support you. They're just excited to see me do well. As long as I'm in a good place, which I am, like in a good place physically, in a good place mentally, it ain't. And there's nothing to it but to do it. I'm just excited. So once they see my enthusiasm for it, then they obviously support it.
Okay, and last one from me. I think this fight is like hidden gem on the card, right? People expect fireworks. After studying Islam, do you think that the hype is real about him, or he's overrated?
I think that's that like train of thought never appealed to me, or I never understood like discrediting an opponent's achievements leading into a fight, because then you're just like, then when you beat them, you're just downplaying your own achievements. You know what I mean? So I have no intention to nitpick his past or nitpick any of his achievements and kind of downplay him. That's not even how I approach it mentally. I want to fight him. I want to fight him because he is a specialist. I want to fight him because there is so much intrigue. I want to fight him because he is considered the best grappler in the division. I want to fight the best people in the world, and he is considered one of the best people in the world. That's why I want to fight him. I don't want to fight him because I think he's an easy target or anything like that. So yeah, I'm not. Never doesn't make sense to discredit him. So I 100%. He's deserved everything he's achieved. This is his party. I'm just here to spoil it. That's my whole plan.
Okay, thank you very much, and best of luck on Saturday.
Hey Dan, we've seen you in the gym and doing some training in Dubai. What are your experiences of the UAE, and how much you're looking forward to fighting in Abu Dhabi on Saturday?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like yeah, well I got stuck here after my last fight for 4 or 5 weeks, and I made the most of it. Went to TK MMA, and had great experiences. Good team. It's like you can definitely feel it. Like it's just a bustling. It's a bustling MMA kind of mecca. It's like the same kind of feeling as Thailand. Like everyone comes here. It's like a very central place. Everyone can come and train, and it felt very much like Thailand. There were a lot of friendly faces from Thailand as well, because they were getting at that time they were getting stuck out of there. So it was great training. Had people from all over the world getting some great rounds in with guys from Russia, guys from all throughout Europe. It was an incredible experience. I feel like the UAE Abu Dhabi Dubai has got a massive future in terms of mixed martial arts.
We've seen in the past a real vociferous big support for the Russian and Dagestani fighters. How much do you relish the opportunity to walk into a kind of away fixture?
Oh, I love it. I love they're equally as exciting to me, whether it's main eventing a sold out show in your hometown or going out there and everyone's like everything is energy. Whether there's 10, 20,000 people screaming for you in support, or there's 10, 20,000 people wanting your blood. Like both of those get me just as excited. I relish this opportunity like nothing else. Like that's the way I'm approaching this fight. Is that I'm coming over here to the foreign shore, away from home, and I'm coming to spoil the party. I'm coming to raid these shores and take all this gold back to Las Vegas. That's where I'm going.
Cool. All the best.
Thank you.
Hi, Dan.
Yo.
Is there an update on New Zealand and when you can get back home after this weekend?
No. Nah, they have so it's like a lottery. You just enter the lottery. I think there've been like four or five since I took the fight, and no dice. I'm just focusing on. So after this fight, I go back to Las Vegas, and then the UFC's flying my family out. So they're flying my wife and daughter out to Las Vegas. Once they get here, I'm content, man. I'm content. And also we got like Brad Riddell fights before the end of the year. Kai Kara France fights Cody Garbrandt before the end of the year. Those are both in Las Vegas. So I'm just focusing on the positives. I get to be over here for my teammates when they come here and help them out with whatever they need for their camps, support them in any way possible for their camps. And it's that is something that I'm very Bam Bam as well. He's coming over to Las Vegas. That'll be a good after party. There's nothing but positives. That's all I'm thinking of. And then as soon as New Zealand will let me back in, I'm sure I'll return back to New Zealand.
What sort of plans do you have with your family in Las Vegas throughout the rest of the year?
Not too sure. I take everything as it comes. My wife's got family in New York and Manhattan, so I haven't really thought past Christmas in New York. We got all those 3 fight shows: Bam Bam, Brad Riddell, Kai Kara France, New York for Christmas. Israel's up in February. I'll be on that card as well. Let's get it going. Like the future is bright.
Is there an update on City Kickboxing and whether on the relocation to America to sort of bypass or circumvent restrictions on getting back into the country?
Yeah, well, that's like Kai and Brad. That's 2 more guys that are stuck here. Both of those guys don't have vouchers to return home, so there's 2 more guys that are stuck here before the end of the year. But in terms of like the decision on that, that's above my pay grade. I'm not. That's for our coaches and our our management teams to kind of figure that all out. That's
Thanks, Dan.
No worries.
What's up, Dan?
How you going?
I'm doing great, and you?
Not bad.
I'm from Russia. Moreover, my name is Islam as well. So
nice.
The question is, I've noticed that you are a huge betting underdog in this fight. So please name 3 arguments not to bet against you.
Not to bet against me? Yes. I don't feel like it's my place to try and convince people how I'm going to win. They could go back and watch my fights, and they'll know that that's not. I don't want to change the line too much before the boys get their money down in on me. You know what I mean? Like it's time for the boys to make some money. Like I'm gonna throw a few dollars down on myself as well. Like I don't want that line to shift too much before I get my money in. So it's not my place to justify. I'm relishing that. 4-1. Oh baby, we're getting paid.
Thank you, sir.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just happy because they find for me some top opponents because RDA is injured. I think maybe the fight is cancelled but I'm very happy because the hooker took this fight.
Did they give you a list of names that you could fight, or was just Dan Hooker the only one that they offered, and you said yes?
They told me they gonna give two. They give me two names: Tony Ferguson or Dan Hooker, and they say Tony Ferguson don't answer. That's why Hooker is ready. I just say let's go. Doesn't matter.
In terms of his skill set, how would you say he rates compared to your previous opponents?
His stuff is good, high level striking guy, but I think he have more than RDA because RDA a little bit old. I think he's he don't have like good win streak, but he's tough. He fight with a lot of tough guys, tough opponents. He beat a lot of tough opponents too, and that's why it's gonna be a good fight for me.
How would you rate his grappling and his wrestling? You say he's a good striker, but have you seen much from his wrestling that impresses you?
Honestly, I don't see his wrestling game, grappling skills, but we'll see. I'm gonna check.
And then finally, some of your previous opponents, like Drew Dober, and then even Michael Chandler, when he was offered to you, they say when they sign the contract to fight you, a lot of Russian fans start DMing them some pretty nasty things, saying like you're gonna die, this and that. Why do you think your fans are so passionate in defending you against your opponents?
Because my fans, I think, they're tired. They're just waiting when I'm gonna be champion. That's why they're tired to wait.
Islam. Is Rafael dos Anjos behind you? Will you ever fight him now that he keeps withdrawing from your fights?
After this fight, I don't think the Dos Anjos is good idea for me. I have to looking forward for someone from top 3 but if they give me title fight, I'm gonna be ready.
You said that they offered you Tony and Dan. Were you disappointed that Tony didn't say yes? Because I know you've wanted to fight him for a while.
If they turn now?
No, are you disappointed that you're fighting Dan Hooker, not Tony Ferguson?
Of course, now is RDR number 8 or 7, but Hooker number 6. But Tony Ferguson number 7 or 8, Hooker number 6, and I think Tony is finished. You know, he have 3 lose streak. That's why I think it's not good idea fight for him.
Do you respect Dan Hooker for accepting the fight and not going back to New Zealand to fight you?
Yeah, I'm respecting because he took this fight. But other things.
Is it true Hasbullah is going to be in attendance to support you?
The Hasbullah in Dubai. I think he's going to come to my fight.
Cool. Thank you.
Islam, hi. Islam, in this region especially, you know, you're very, very popular, and a lot of people here are looking forward to this fight. Is that something that you feel coming into this now that you're here? I know you've been in Dubai for a long time, but do you feel that support, and is there a pressure that comes with that?
All arena is going to be full, and all arena is going to be my people, you know. That's why I have to show people good performance.
Islam, what sort of pressure comes with that? Because they expect you to perform, don't they?
You know, I'm not amateur fighter. It's not pressure. This is just support.
And how much does your team help you in that? Because obviously Khabib has been the face for this region for a long time and has done everything in the sport. How does that help you?
Like, we come here from with like big team. We have Tagir and Zubaira from our team. They fight also same night. That's why when we bring big team, a lot of people is just, you know, sometimes we forget about cut weights, about fight, just spend time together. I like this.
And lastly, Islam, you've been in Dubai for a long time for the training camp. How much of an advantage is that against Dan, who obviously had lots of problems traveling, etc.? How much of an advantage is it to have been in Dubai and put in all that work in the UAE?
We come to Dubai before like 25 days because in Dubai we have, like, you know, all what we need for training. They give like good hospitality, and, you know, for acclimatization, because now it's in Russia winter time, but here so hot. That's why I have to come before, you know, not like 20, but I have to come before 10 days, 15 days. But if now some people I know come before couple days, they have bad jet lag. That's why we have to be professional.
And Islam, sorry, lastly, you obviously, we've said that you're so popular here, a lot of people expecting big things from you here. How important is it, or your motivation to have a big win, not just a win, a statement win?
Yeah, I know. I have to finish Dan Hooker, because I finished last my 3 opponent, and I try to finish all my opponents, you know. But I have to show people, show UFC how my level, because very soon I have to fight for the title. That's why I'm gonna try to finish him everywhere.
Islam, so many people refer to you as Khabib's successor in the lightweight division. Is this something that you're comfortable with, or would you prefer to just be known as your own fighter?
No, because I don't know. I wanna be like Khabib, you know. I'm training with him all the time. He give me like very big support. This is not pressure for me. I just happy because I have some guy like him on my back.
What role will he play in the lead up to this fight, and what words of encouragement will he give to you this week and on the day of the fight?
You know, Khabib have big experience. Now he's like maybe like him and Javier Mendez, they like my head coach. You know, he helped me a lot. He give me game plan. He helped me a lot in the training camp. And, you know, he not just like some sparring partner. He can give like more because he have big experience in this game.
There's obviously a big title fight coming up in the lightweight division. Where would a win put you in the title conversation after Saturday?
You know, Oliveira fight versus Poirier, and Chandler fight versus Gaethje. And after when I beat Hooker, I don't know if Chandler win and Oliveira win, who's gonna fight for title? I'm gonna be ready because I don't think rematch for Chandler and Oliveira good idea. I know they ask me, but they don't need to ask me. I'm just ready.
Ислам, приветствую. Ты уже говорил, что весогонка в Абу-Даби тебе дается легче, чем, например, в Лас-Вегасе. А вот какое твое состояние сейчас, если сравнивать его, например, на тот же период перед боем с Дрю Добером?
Ну, если где-то 800 грамм, я сейчас опережаю график.
Сколько у тебя вес может доходить вот максимально в межсезонье?
Раньше было 84, 83, а сейчас уже 81, 82, я уже стал более профессиональным бойцом и не даю, ну, не кушаю всякую еду, которая никакой пользы мне не приносит.
Если мы предположим, что, например, после боя с Дэном Хукером тебе не дадут бой за пояс, нет ли у тебя желания, так скажем, получить денежный бой, ну, допустим, сделать вызов Конору Макгрегору, тем более, что есть история какая-то, или ты в это не веришь?
Честно сказать, нет такого желания. Хочу побыстрее забрать пояс, и это и будет денежный бой.
Эмираты считаются, ну, традиционно довольно, ну, более доступной локацией для россиян. Вот кто, кроме Хазбулы, придет на твой бой из таких близких тебе людей?
Все мои друзья придут, очень много людей приедет поддержать меня. Ну, вообще, даже с Махачкалы, я знаю, очень много людей собирается. Там ну, очень большая команда будет, я думаю, вся арена будет, вся арена будет за меня болеть.
Спасибо.
Ислам, приветствую. Меня также Ислам зовут, Спортэкспресс из Дизайна. Ты, если не ошибаюсь, ты сказал то, что ты должен финишировать Дэна Хукера в этот раз. Какой ты видишь свою досрочную победу? Потому что у Дэна Хукера он не проигрывал с адмишином, допустим.
Ну, я вижу, что я могу его переводить, и я не видел в его грэпплинге таких, ну, хороших навыках грэпплинга, я его не заметил. Так и в стойке я буду отвлекать его борьбой и в стойке наносить удары. И это ММА, и каждый удар может стать последним.
Общались с Хавьером Мендесом, он высоко оценил твои навыки стойки. Как ты оцениваешь свои навыки конкретно против Дэна Хукера в этом аспекте?
Знаешь, я могу с любым бойцом подраться в стойке и просто там порадовать публику, там зарубиться. Но я же говорю, это ММА, и я знаю, у меня борьба на хорошем уровне, и я спокойно могу переводить своих оппонентов, контролировать, заканчивать там бои. Из-за этого я должен использовать свои сильные стороны.
Мог бы внести своего оппонента в топ-3 в плане бойцов, которые дерутся в стойке?
В топ-3, не знаю, в топ-5 может. В топ-5, топ-7, не в топ-3.
И последнее, кто тогда топ-1, ну, первый номер?
Ну, на данный момент, ну, и Оливейра тоже очень хороший в стойке. В последнее время он очень сильно прибавил. И хорошего ударника уронил он. Не знаю, тут все ребята там уже в топ-5 такие опасные ребята. И нет такого, что в топ-5 попал, и ты не умеешь стойки драться, не умеешь бороться. Там уже такие все разнообразные.
Спасибо.
Yeah, if you win on Saturday, would you still want to fight McGregor at some point?
No, I just want to fight for the title.
Okay.
Ислам, приветствую, Вадим Тихомиров, матч.tv.ru. Хотелось узнать, а вот сколько раундов спаррингов с ударами у тебя в неделю случается? Ты просто говорил, что вы много спаррингуете, в принципе.
Ну, 3 раза. 3 раза в неделю мы спаррингуем. 2 раза жесткие спарринги бывают, а 1 раз чуть так полегче.
И каждый раз ты 5-раундовые, да, спарринги? То есть ты проходишь 5 раундов?
Нет, это зависит от боя. Последний бой был 5-раундовый, я делал в 5 раундов. Сейчас будет 3-раундовый бой, я спарринговал 3 раунда.
Многие люди, кто смотрит ММА, они думают, что бойцы из более тяжелого веса по умолчанию сильнее бойцов из веса полегче. А чувствуешь ли ты, что ты как атлет, как боец ММА, многих в 77 мог бы пройти? Не знаю, Масвидала, Колби Ковингтона, там еще ряд бойцов.
Да, я думаю, что навыками я ничем не уступаю. Просто эти ребята чуть побольше бывают. Они весят где-то 90 килограмм. Но если я буду... Тяжело мне будет 90 набрать. Но если я буду такой безобразный образ жизни вести и питаться непонятно чем, тогда можно... Ну, такой искусственный вес чуть... Например, можно искусственно как-то на более большой вес подняться. Но если я буду подниматься... Посмотрим со временем, не хочу загадывать.
Не, я хотел уточнить, вот просто ты как есть выходишь, и условно человека 77 выходит, вы деретесь. Неужели там вот эти 7 килограммов прям такую ключевую разницу бы имели?
Не, я думаю, не имели, потому что я вот когда в Вегасе был последний раз, много работал с разными бойцами. Я не хочу имена говорить, но я работал с топ-бойцами UFC, они там приходили к нам на тренировки, вместе тренировались. И вообще не было никаких проблем.
Последний вопрос от меня. А вот можно говорить, что в последние 2-3 года вы, к примеру, чуть меняли тактику, потому что, ну, известно, что в UFC просят финишировать оппонентов, просят заканчивать бои досрочно. И вот можно ли говорить, что вы там систематически над этим работали, чтобы действительно ты досрочно заканчивал поединки?
Честно, такой наработки не было, такой задачи какой-то. Ну, посмотрите, мои все бои, я во всех боях пытаюсь финишировать соперника. Если я где-то повалил там, и даже мало времени, я постоянно пытаюсь как-то какой-то болевой сделать или как-то финишировать.
И самое последнее. Сутки до взвешивания, у тебя стоит бутылочка с водой. Значит ли это, что сегодня ты там еще можешь позволять себе пить жидкость, и пока еще там самый тяжелый этап не начался?
Не сутки, больше у нас, 2 сутки почти.
Да, прошу прощения.
Да, ну и еще до завтрашнего дня я могу пить. Завтра уже все. Сегодня надо мне еще выпить литра 4.
Спасибо.
Последний вопрос, если можно. Вот также помню, Хавьер Мендес отмечал, что ты единственный, кто забирал раунды у Хабиба Нурмагомедова во время спаррингов. Мог бы описать, как это происходило, в каких эпизодах ты оказывался сильнее него?
Таких спаррингов. Не знаю, у нас было очень много раундов, и судей у нас никогда не было. Может, Хавьер как-то судил. Ну, бывало, когда Хаиб на 5-раундовые бои готовился, там бывает, что я там на 4-й, 5-й раунд могу зайти или на 1-й, 2-й. Ну, бывает же, например, если ты готовишь на 5-раундовый бой, может быть такое, что тренер тебе скажет, сегодня у тебя 5 новых соперников, и ты же не можешь со всеми на 100% выкладываться. И, не знаю, были, наверное, какие-то раунды, где я забирал, где он забирал.
Хабиб до отставки и Хабиб после отставки. С какой версией сложнее работать?
Ну, сейчас Хаиб не спаррингует, но мы боремся часто. И он весит где-то 90, около 90 килограмм. Очень тяжело бывает сейчас с ним бороться. И так было всегда тяжело, если он там сверху оказывался. Ну и сейчас уже это все.
Спасибо.
Ислам, у вас длинная победная серия, вы уже давно в UFC. Как вы думаете, почему у вас еще нет пояса?
Ну, так сложилось, да, что мне не давали топовых соперников, пока я сам каждую лестницу не прошел и сам не поднялся наверх. Сейчас уже нет выбора, и сейчас уже я близко.
Они давали, как вы думаете, почему? Потому что они не соглашались или считали, что недостаточно яркие будут поединки?
Я не мог найти соперника. Не было такого, чтобы меня кто-то из топа когда-то вызвал и там захотел драться. Я всегда всех вызывал, просил топовых оппонентов. Ну, мне так и говорили, что этот не хочет, тот не соглашается, там у того травма. И я же не мог ждать постоянно. Я просто говорил, дайте мне следующего, дайте мне следующего.
А сейчас есть понимание, когда наконец вы выйдете на титульный бой?
Ну, я думаю, уже в следующем году, в начале следующего года будет предложение.
Спасибо.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Khamzat. First of all, welcome back to Fight Island. At this point, I'm sure you've done a lot of media. Are you tired of journalists and fans asking how you're feeling after your COVID?
Feels good, brother. Feels nice, amazing. Be here in UFC and fight. and I enjoy with everything with here. Like speak with you, speak with people, nice, like that.
Your first three fights were so close, back to back to back. Has it been difficult mentally just to have to just be forced to sit and watch other people fight and lose out on these, like the Leon Edward fight and all these other opportunities you had because of your health and it was out of your control?
Yeah, it was hard. Always been hard. I fight only 4 or 5 years in MMA. Before that, I was watching the fights. That time was also hard. I want to fight always in the UFC. Now I'm here and fight this Saturday, and I'm hungry, more hungry than been because I was out my meat 1 year.
And your opponent, Li Jingliang, did you know much about him before you were offered the fight?
Actually, no. I didn't know this guy was in the UFC also. And when I hear his first name, I'm like, what? Jingliang. I can't speak his name as well. Jingliang, yeah, something like that.
Have you watched any of his fights since you got the fight, or are you just focusing on what
I
he was doing?
see his highlights and his highlight against Neil Magny. He lose fight against him, something like that. I doesn't like to rewatch my opponents. I'm more focused on what I'm gonna do. I don't think about my opponents. Like last time, I did John go in and smash this guy. Don't get the punch. If you focus on what he's gonna do, you're gonna do something. But if you focus on what you're gonna do, you're gonna do everything with him.
Did it matter who they offered? You just wanted to fight. It just happened to be him, and he's ranked, so you said yes.
Of course, of course. For me, it doesn't matter who I ranked or no ranked, and I accept everything.
And then this is going to be technically your first fight in the UFC with fans. Your first three fights were kind of in a bubble. Are you looking forward to having the full UFC fight week experience finally?
For me, it doesn't matter actually. It's fans, no fans. Cage is cage. For me, there inside, I feel at home. I'm happy, enjoy. Yeah.
Khamzat, are you officially a welterweight now? No more middleweight?
I give my word to my coach. We'll focus on 170 now and take this belt. And after that, we'll jump up and smash somebody there.
Why did you think it was important to focus on welterweight for the future?
For me, actually, it doesn't matter. It's a question to my coach. And he said, if you still want to work with me, you have to listen to me and we have to work like team and family.
Did you ask him why?
No, I never asked him why. He just told me do some things and go and do. I believe him and he believed me.
Before you got sick, you were fighting all the time, like once every month. Do you plan on fighting that regularly again now that you're back?
I hope so. And how many is possible? Fight to next year and maybe this year. It's up to you, see. Yeah.
You were scheduled to fight Leon Edwards, who's up very, very highly ranked. After this fight, do you want to fight someone similar to him, someone at the very top of the division, or are you happy to take your time?
I hope so, but I don't think these guys want to fight with me after this fight. They're gonna start be scared again, like complain, he didn't fight somebody good guy, blah blah blah, and things like that. Yeah, we'll see what's happened after this fight.
Who do you think is going to win between Leon Edwards and Jorge Masvidal?
I think it will be decision. I don't know, it's 3 rounds or 4. Yeah, it will be decision, I think.
For Leon?
Yeah.
And what about Kamaru versus Colby?
I think Kamaru actually, and it maybe will be decision if nobody get injured in the fight. Nothing special with these guys. Yeah, a wrestler and a little bit stand up. Yeah.
So if those 2 fights are decisions, how does your fight end on Saturday?
And I eat him up like I do always. 9 fights, 9 finishes.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Hello, Khamzat. So first question is, you said that you didn't even know about Lee being in the UFC before this fight, but after watching his highlights and getting prepared for this fight, do you think this is the biggest challenge yet in the UFC?
No, I don't think so. Now, before I fight, last time I fight Jared Mesha, they say people like, he almost submissions in the game, just. And always people gonna talk, somebody is better than me, and I know where I'm gonna go take his head, yeah.
Okay, and of course, except getting healthier during this time when you were off, did you focus on some particular aspects of your game when you were developing as a fighter?
My game is go and kill, take his heart, nothing more.
Okay, and did you regret that you missed the chance to fight Leon Edwards when you see that he's high in the game, and maybe you will just skip into this title contention right away if you fought him?
Of course, I will be happy if they will give me somebody like that. But I think if we win this fight, he's supposed to fight for the title. How many win streak he have? 10, I don't know, 10, 9. And I respect that. And win this fight, I have to win also 1, 2, 3 fights more before the title. I doesn't want to jump out the guys and let people talk like this is disrespect and like this time. I want to show who I am. I'm gonna beat all the guys and top 10 fighters, and I'm gonna become champion.
Okay, and the media and the fans know you well, that you are a brush fighter. You talk a lot, but you just mentioned.
I don't talk a lot. You talk a lot, brother.
Okay, so my question is:
people ask me, I answer. This is not talk a lot. If you ask me, I answer. That's why my people think I talk a lot. If somebody asks me something, I always answer. I have to. Really, why you ask me something? Okay. If you don't ask me, guys, I'm never gonna talk about something.
I see. But either way, you just mentioned a few minutes ago that you obeyed your trainer, that you have to focus on welterweight, staying on this division. So I'm just curious, do your sparring partners and your trainers see totally different Khamzat? More focused, or maybe, I don't know, more humble? Don't take it as a disrespect. In the gym, and the totally different Khamzat in the media, in the cage.
I'm the Khamzat everywhere, but I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, I always do hard sparring in the gym. I like to do, like my sparring partners, Alex and these guys. I like when guys heavy, when guys stronger than me, and always try like to go in somewhere or like if people see like you can't win that, but I will try to win these things. Like I'm always change with the guys. 1 minute, 1 minute, 5 minutes, 5 guys, and I like this everything. But I don't know how my coach think, how they see. That's why I know I'm warrior. I come here to kill everyone.
Okay, thank you.
Khamzat, the fans here in Abu Dhabi are incredibly excited that your return is happening here. What can they look forward to on Saturday night?
Just tell them, brother, kill. Yeah. Eat him up. Get some meat and maybe 50 G's. We'll see.
You've mentioned there some higher ranked fighters potentially avoiding a fight with you. What respect have you got for Lee for taking this fight?
I respect all my opponents. From that matter, just they take fight is respect for him. Because I am who was in UFC 9 fights, 9 finishes, 9 stoppages, and nobody. And he take fight with me. Miss 11 ranked. I don't know I'm ranked or not. And he take this fight, and big respect for him. Thanks.
Приветствую, Khamzat. Ассаламу алейкум.
Алейкум салам.
Твой оппонент Ли Jingliang, он никогда не проигрывал нокаутом. Первое, как ты оцениваешь его подбородок? И второе, как ты оцениваешь свои шансы на то, что ты сможешь его уронить?
Ну, я ронял тех, кто не падали раньше. Это ничего, никакого нового там нет. Я дрался с 4 или с 5 парнями, у которых 0 был поражений. Я их ронял, удушающий делал, избивал. То же самое сделаю с ним.
То есть нам стоит ожидать либо удушающий прием в твоем исполнении или нокаут?
Я не знаю, что ожидать. Выйду, буду бить его. Может, головой вырублю его. Не знаю, что. Как Келлен Холланд вырубился, знаешь.
После, возможно, победы собираешься ты кинешь вызов кому-либо из дивизиона? Допустим, условно, тому же Камару Усману.
Я тут. Я уже тут. И это вызов для всех. Я же говорю, 10 топ-10 со всеми подряд. Без разницы. Даже если он не в топе, мне если честно, пофиг. Я просто хочу драться и зарабатывать свои бабки и жить счастливо. Сделать свою маму счастливее.
Желаю удачи.
Спасибо большое.
Yeah, based on your history, can you understand when people don't want to get vaccinated?
I'm not vaccinated, but I have to do that when I'm going back to Sweden. My brother did vaccinated, and a lot of guys I know did vaccinated. For me, it doesn't matter. If it's good things to be healthy, why not?
Хамзат, приветствую. Вадим Тихомиров, matchtv.ru. Ты изначально говорил, что можешь драться каждый месяц, и действительно дрался часто, потом пришлось пропустить год. Просто интересно, ты как религиозный, как верующий человек, считаешь ли, что это такой был знак свыше, может быть, и изменил ли вообще, грубо говоря, там, подход к тому, что говоришь после этого? Просто как ты сам это воспринял?
Нет, конечно, зачем извиняться? Я тот же Хамзат, который я был. Это бои. По религии, если мы будем говорить, тут мне нельзя даже находиться. Религиозность и бои связывать я не собираюсь. Это мордобой, если честно сказать. Я кого-то избиваю, может, его мама смотрит, это для меня харам. Его мама или брат, сестра, кто-то плачет из-за этого. Но, к сожалению, жизнь такая. Надо кого-то бить, чтобы зарабатывать и жить.
Ты не дрался целый год, опять же, а не было в какой-то момент ощущения, что финансово стало тяжелее? То есть, грубо говоря, ты привыкаешь к одному объему дохода и потом год без дохода. Вот сейчас, насколько ты себя там финансово чувствуешь стабильно?
Если честно, мне без разницы. Если мама есть, кушает, мама где-то живет в хорошем жилье, мне без разницы, где я живу. Я иногда живу в зале, иногда живу в отеле. У меня даже в своей квартире ничего нет своего. Ну, люди думают, что я такой-то богатым писал. Пацан богатенький, там уже осознался туда-сюда. Те, которые люди подарили подарки, там часы, все такие остались, но с деньгами я не такой богатый парень. Я богат душой.
Твой брат мне в интервью говорил после 2 твоих боев, что у тебя нет машины своей в Швеции. Потом тебе дарили машину, потом она разбилась в итоге. Какая ее сейчас судьба и есть ли у тебя свой транспорт в Швеции?
Да, мне дарили машину, до сих пор есть, но она разбитая. Брат одолжил, куда-то отвез, я ее не видел. Я на нее катался 1-2 раза, потом брат забрал. И его друг разбил ее, что-то такое.
2 вопроса буквально. Вы в Чеченской Республике пересекались с Артуром Битырбиевым, довольно жестким парнем из Хасавюрта, чеченцем. Не спарринговали ли вы с ним по правилам бокса, хотя бы там легко или каким-то образом?
Да, по правилам бокса он мне башку снесет. Мы по правилам ММА. Хотел бы спарринг сделать.
А он сам хочет в ММА? Тебе было бы интересно проконсультировать его, помочь ему?
Если он хочет в ММА, конечно, я помогу ему. Буду рад, но я не думаю, я не советую ему сюда приходить. Тут это вообще совсем другой бокс, красивый вид спорта и хорошо зарабатывает парни. Лучше там остается, и он непобежденный, и все нокауты. Молодец парень.
И вот 2 года назад здесь на турнире на бою Хабиба присутствовал глава Чеченской Республики. Прилетит ли он в этот раз? Обсуждали ли вы это с ним?
Я надеюсь, у него много дела, и посмотрим, что как получится.
First of all, welcome back to Fight Island. What are your initial thoughts of Khamzat Chimaev as an opponent ahead of your fight on Saturday?
欢迎回到格斗岛，你对于齐马耶夫怎么评价？
首先感谢各位媒体对我的采访，你们也辛苦了。很高兴我再次回到格斗岛比赛，很开心，因为格斗岛和我的家乡新疆很像，阿布扎比和这边很像，我很喜欢这边，很开心我再次回来战斗。
Yeah, first of all, thanks all the media for interviewing me, and it's good to be back to the Abu Dhabi. And here is really like my hometown, Xinjiang, China, and all the environment. I feel very familiar. Yeah, I just feel so good.
喜欢这边的天气，热热的，舒服。
Yeah, the weather is so comfortable.
就像你们在 YouTube 看到我那个纪录片一样，我出生在一个农村的家庭，我喜欢种地，我喜欢夏日那种热热的晒在自己的身上流汗，哎，我觉得很舒服。
Yeah, have you guys checked my YouTube video? The talk about my hometown Xinjiang. I like the summer weather, all the feelings. Here it really feel like my hometown. I love it.
Your opponent Khamzat, he has a lot of hype entering this fight. We just spoke with him. He said he didn't really know you before he was offered to fight. Did you? I assume you were aware of him because he was so popular. And are you impressed with his skills from his 3 fights in the UFC?
你的对手刚才在这儿采访说对你并不是很了解，那么你对于他有什么看法呢？他的技术，
他不可能对我不了解，明白吧？了不了解我那是他的事情，重要的是我了解他，因为他很有名气，打了3场 UFC 比赛，就让更多的媒体们受到了关注，粉丝朋友们受到了关注，让 UFC 受到了关注，而且我也看到了他比赛，对吧？然而无论对手是谁，我依然还看好自己，可能大家都不看好我，是不是没有关系？等到星期六的时候，他说了算。
Of course, he knows me, but whether he knows me or not, I know him. So I know he did 3 UFC fights, and there are so many medias want to know about him. But all in all, only my face do the talk. Let's see on Saturday.
Has anything he done in his 3 fights impressed you? You fought a lot of high-level welterweights that have been in the UFC for so long. He's relatively young in his career. Have you seen anything from him that has impressed you?
你的对手在技术上有没有什么让你觉得很深刻的印象的东西？
有印象，他的拳摔都比较综合，是一个 MMA 运动，这就是 MMA 运动，对吧？综合格斗，什么事情都有可能发生。他有终结能力，我也有终结能力。OK。
Yeah, this is mixed martial arts. Anything can happen. I know he's striking good, he's grappling, wrestling very good, but this is mixed martial arts. Anything can happen. And yeah, let's find out.
Your last 3 fights have all ended very impressively. What has changed in your camp from your previous fights that allows you to compete at such a high level at this point in your career?
这次备战你有什么改变，让你一直保持这么好的一个状态？
这是我的团队，团队给了我，我的教练给了我，我的家庭给了我，我的孩子给了我，我的国家给了我，所以说，我很自信，我相信我能做到。
Yeah, I'm confident and I have faith in myself because it's teamwork. My team, my coach, my family, my children, they all give me power. So I have the confidence in this fight.
Hi, Lee.
Hi, 你好。
We've all seen how dominant Chimaev is. Have you spotted any weaknesses?
我们都知道你的对手很强势，你目前找到什么他的弱点了吗？
当然有，每个人都有弱点，我也有弱点，我也有强项。OK， 你们只看到了他，没有看到我吗 ？OK。
We all have weaknesses, and you guys only pay attention to him. Did you guys find anything on me?
我们是一个 level， 我们是一个档次，我们两个在笼子里打，所以说我们两个几乎是一样的。
Because it's me versus him, we are in the same level in the octagon.
对，他要强大，没有一个强大的对手，这场比赛有意思吗
？Yeah, the fight will be boring if he doesn't have a good opponent.
Yeah， 是吧？所以说，知彼知己，百战百胜。我只做好我自己。
You have to know your opponent before you defeat him. For me, I just being the best of myself.
他不光是饿，我也很渴，我也想喝点血。
He is thirsty, and I'm also thirsty. I wanna drink some blood.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just one more. Khamzat was in here earlier, and we asked for his prediction, and he said he was going to eat you up and then take your head. I would like your reaction to that.
你的对手刚才在这儿预测说会把你吃掉，把你头吃掉，你会怎么说呢
？OK， 欢迎 ，Come on， 吃谁吃谁还不一定呢。吸血魔大战狼人，拭目以待。Come on, baby, let's go.
Yeah, let's find out. It's the leech versus the wolf. Let's see who eat who.
Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Hi, Lee.
Hi.
What makes Khamzat Chimaev so dangerous in your opinion? And the second, can you please name your best weapon to beat him?
首先，你认为对手为什么这么厉害？技术上。第二，你觉得你能如何去打败他？
哦，我觉得每个人的厉害不厉害都取决于自信。体育给了我们什么？体育给我们就是自信。每个人都要给自己自信，尤其是我们是男人 ，man， 呀，是这样的。尤其是打 MMA 的这项运动，我觉得更要自信。我觉得是这样子的，是吧？他自信，当然我对自己更有自信。
I think sport gives people confidence. I think my biggest weapon is my confidence. And as a man, is as supposed to be confident.
征战沙场这么多年，比赛的经验给了我很多的这个机会，让我学到了很多。无论输还是赢，我从中学到很多经验。
I have a lot experience in the UFC. Whether it's winning or losing, I have a lot of experiences.
无论从身体上还是年龄上，我觉得我现在非常好。
Whether it's my age, my physical condition, my mental, I feel just so good.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Good.
谢谢各位媒体，辛苦了。